idea of killing children.
Acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson, CBS's Christopher Cruz has more.
Two law enforcement sources tell CBS News the shooter was in the church a few weeks ago looking around and was asked by a church employee why they were there. The shooter said they wanted to reconnect with their faith. Investigators now believe the shooter used the visit to conduct surveillance at the church. Police Chief Brian O'Hara.
This is an unthinkable, completely senseless act. Violence perpetrated against children worshiping at Mass.
116 rifle rounds were recovered at the scene. The CDC director is out just weeks after she took the job, Chris Fox reports.
While attending a healthcare roundtable in Austin, RFK Jr. confirmed the termination of CDC Director Susan Menares.
There's a lot of trouble at CDC, and it's going to require getting rid of some people over the long term in order for us to change the institutional culture.
Menares' attorney says she was targeted because she refused to, quote, rubber stamp unscientific, reckless directives. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says Menares was not aligned with the president's mission to make America healthy again. Chris Fox for CBS News, Austin.
Dr. Amish Adalja believes the distractions at the CDC are dangerous.
The CDC is 24/7, 365 listening, looking, trying to understand what health threats might be coming to the United States, tracking multiple disease outbreaks, tracking the threat of bioterrorism. All of that is what the CDC does. You may have the luxury to not really worry about that stuff, but the CDC is doing that all the time. And when they're not doing it, bad things happen.
Russia launched a massive and deadly attack on Ukraine. Linda Kenyon has White House reaction.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says the recent barrage of Russian drone and missile strikes in the Ukrainian capital make peace increasingly seem out of reach.
Perhaps both sides of this war are not ready to end it themselves. The president wants it to end, but the leaders of these two countries need it to end and want it to end, must want it to end as well.
Secretary Leavitt adds President Trump was not happy with this attack, but she also said he was not surprised. At the same time, she says the president remains committed to trying to end the war.
Florida taxpayers could be on the hook for the $218 million cost of converting a training airport into the detention center in the Everglades known as Alligator Alcatraz. It may soon be empty of detainees. A judge has ordered it closed. On Wall Street today, stocks finished higher. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, new information in the arrest of two firefighters on the Bear Gulch fire. That's after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. Subaru Puyallup has our update. We're seeing very standard backups for mid-afternoon. Tacoma to Olympia's at 1 hour. Got a 3-mile backup through JBLM. That's always a thick one. And then 5 miles of scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 45-minute trip. Now, the north end, you're looking okay. It's once you reach Highway 18, you're bumper to bumper into Sumner. Seattle to Federal Way, 40 minutes. It's slow from the Boeing Access Road all the way down to State Route 516. That's very typical, about an 8 to 9 mile backup here. South Center to Bellevue, 25 minutes. It's slow from South Center to Northeast 44th. Bellevue to South Center is up to 35 minutes. Heavy from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway, and then another hefty backup through South Center. Linwood to Seattle, plan on 40 minutes. You're packed from Northgate to I-90, and Everett to Marysville, just shy of 20 minutes. Having your vehicle serviced is our stress-free promise at Subaru Puyallup with convenient service hours from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Subaru Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. KIRO Newsradio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The U.S. Border Patrol now explaining why two firefighters battling the Bear Gulch wildfire were arrested this week. KIRO Newsradio's Heather Bosch with the update.
Border Patrol says it was called in to help after another federal agency, the Bureau of Land Management, conducted a criminal investigation and canceled contracts with two companies assisting in the firefight. BLM asked Border Patrol to confirm the identities of 44 members of the firework crews. Agents determined 2 were in the U.S. illegally, and they were arrested. The remaining 42 were escorted off federal land.
FBI says it recovered several items during this week's search in Leavenworth for accused killer Travis Decker. The agency says they are being examined to see if they're related to the ongoing investigation. Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison saying earlier this week,
"We will not relent. We will not give up until this investigation is concluded
and that Travis is accounted for and or taken into custody.
FBI Seattle field office led that 2-day search surrounding the campground where Decker's accused of killing his 3 daughters. A serial rapist incorrectly let out of the King County Jail is back behind bars. Here's KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
His name is Noel Stepney. He was convicted in June of second-degree rape and should have been remanded into custody. SPD Detective Eric Munoz says Stepney was instead allowed to post an existing $75,000 bail and walked out of the Regional Justice Center in Kent.
Typically what is supposed to happen when somebody is convicted, especially rape in the second degree, they are to be remanded in custody. So this was clearly an error.
Stepney was on the lam for 30 days. He faces more than 13 years in prison. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Coming soon to Federal Way. Sound Transit says light rail service will debut in the city December 6th. The project is still about 2 years behind schedule, mainly due to soil issues near the Kent-Des Moines Road. Weather update now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. We are seeing mostly sunny skies today and again tomorrow. Highs in the upper 70s and low 80s the next few days. Right now, 79 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
I mean, are we just like bored, spoiled children who've just been lying in the bathtub all day, just playing with their plastic duck, and now they're just thinking, well, what can I do? Okay, yes.
Yes.
We are bored. We're all bored now.
There we go. Perfect. Get out your plastic duck, everybody. Sound Transit's just 2 years behind, no, Aaron? Is that
correct? In Federal Way specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Just 2 years behind.
Soil issues along the Kent-Des Moines Road slowed it down, that project.
That's what's going to happen.
Yes.
This is how newsmen talk to one another. Thank you, Aaron.
You got it, John.
You're welcome.
All right.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm going to dive into an imaginary pool with a weird sound effect. Hey, everybody, there are YouTubers on there. You're watching the YouTube. They're showing you people just can't get enough of my voice. You got to see my face. All right, here we go. News. Well, anything we're calling news anyway. It'll be news to you. Maybe that's what we call the segment. Ooh, like that. Write that down. Let me see. Hang on. Let me run that by a newsman. What do you think about that, newsman, if we call it news to you? You like that idea?
I love it.
There we go.
Yes.
Thank you, Aaron. We're going to do a monologue in the beginning. I don't want to give too much away about that. Let's see. Day in history. Have you enjoyed a Brad drink? 1 billion people have today. Also, I guess this guy wants to kind of do a Roadrunner thing on Jeff Bezos, you know? We drop down. Was it the Roadrunner that would have the thing drop down on top of him? And then he'd walk around like an accordion?
Coyote.
Okay, Wiley would have that. Where's my newsman when I need him? Yeah. Plus, King County Council member Reagan Dunn, about 2 years ago, said, hey, let's audit all of these restorative justice programs. And finally, because I remember in April, I go, where's the audit? He goes, I don't know. They're just taking forever. Well, now the numbers are out. Ugh. And his text to me yesterday was it, we're toast?
I think it was we're toast.
Something like that. Wow. Plus, also, my friend Jeff Rogers stops by. If you watched any of the press conferences yesterday, you might have seen Jacob Fry, the mayor of Minneapolis, saying, prayers aren't the thing. And then I think Jen Psaki said, we don't need prayers, we need action. Jeff Rogers comes by to talk about why we need prayers. Also, the TikToker that went to a cannibal tribe because, of course, he wanted people to talk about him. So here we are, just playing right into it. They should have eaten the guy. Hey, what's for dinner? You are. Arr. There you go. We're going to have you over for dinner. Plus, also, the guy that's being paid, you want to be paid $8,000 a month. All you have to do, without throwing up in your mouth, is tell everybody why you love the Democratic Party.
Ooh, I can do that.
Really? Plus, the woman that I endorsed for mayor. Have I run out of sound? Okay. Plus, the mayor, Katie Wilson blasting away at Kroger's and saying the CEO is overpaid and we need to have government-run grocery stores. And then what we'll do is we'll build a wall to separate East Seattle from West Seattle, and we'll shoot you if you try to get out. Plus, also, Taylor Swift, and what's the boyfriend's name?
Travis Kelce.
Yes. Will they bring marriage back? Is it going to go back again? And then wait till they have a baby. That's going to be more exciting for everybody. Okay. There we go. Little stories like that. And we'll probably throw a few more things in there as well. Don't forget you're a part of the show. Big part of the show. 1-888-973-5476. All are welcome. Your constructive criticism will be ignored if it's negative. But we're open to just about everything else. I was thinking, Joe. The third reason why people visit Vermont. That was the title of an article that I was going to finish for the Alaska Airlines magazine, but I missed the deadline, and I really didn't need the $300 as a freelance writer. So I just let it go by, and now it is probably sitting on some laptop somewhere in a landfill if you really want to find it. Here's the abridged version. I'll save you the digging around. Third reason why people visit Vermont is to shop in small, tiny, historic general stores that are so quintessential to Vermont. I had planned to travel to Vermont one weekend as soon as it stopped snowing there. You can wait a long time for it to stop snowing there in Vermont, so I decided instead to do my research over the phone. And I tracked down the owner of a general store in Dorset, Vermont. His name was Jay Hathaway. Hathaway was sort of the unofficial mayor of this 3-block, tree-lined, postcard-ready tiny hamlet of Dorset, Vermont. We talked for about an hour over the phone. Hathaway's warm, spontaneous bursts of laughter gave me time to scribble down some of his quotes that he fired off so rapidly. On being a B&B owner, he said, "You think you're a people person till you see how they treat your sheets." I asked him about the cost of a tomato in his general store, which I had caught online. And without hesitation, he said, "Look, when you pay $7 for a tomato, you never forget it." I told Jay that I had planned on coming to Vermont to do more of the story. "You can stay here," he said, "at my home." He said home, not house. I won't be here. He said, "I'll be traveling that weekend, but the back door will be open for you." I paused. Was he kidding? How do you talk to somebody on the phone for an hour and then offer a complete stranger your home? "Jay," I said, interrupting him and his warm invitation, "you don't even know me." And he responded, "Well, you don't even know me." But it didn't matter to Hathaway. He said, "You just go to the back door, jiggle the knob. If it's stuck, it's not stuck. It's open. It's there for you." And that began a very favorite friendship of mine. I valued it because what I learned from my friends in life, then I call them friends. And there was something that I learned from Jay Hathaway. 4 words, without warning or cause, would show up in my phone. "I'm thinking about you." That's it. That's all. There was no need for a response. It was just simply sent with no intention of a return message. It was just him letting me know a passing thought was me. And boy, it felt great. I'm sharing this story because I want to write something about the shooting yesterday in Minneapolis, and I'm coming around to that. So with all of that being said, with all the searching for a motive and a reason, who was he and why and what to blame, words like love and hate and evil are tossed around like a giant pot of word soup, ladled out, spilled onto our screens and our car radio speakers. Think of this as a small bit of bread to soak up some of the broth of words. The opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. I've heard Dory Monson say that a number of times. And this thought was first expressed by a Holocaust survivor and writer, Elie Wiesel. When no one loves or hates you, it's indifference, and you disappear. The world walks not over you or around you, but through you unnoticed. I think many of the people that act in such monstrous, inhumane ways, like blasting through the silence of a stained glass window, do so to say, I am here, I am alive, I have feelings, I'm a human, I matter. I rob you, with every pull of the trigger, I rob you of your indifference. I make you feel something about me. I take the thing that possesses all the things that I do not have. A child's life. A life of innocence, a future of promise. A life that indifference cannot touch nor can it ignore. I turn the gun on myself. And you will remember me. You will hate me. Just save me from your indifference. Now, back to Vermont and Hathaway. I'm thinking about you. If more of us, I mean all of us, stop just for a brief time to connect and expel, tear away the shroud of indifference, life would be better for all of us. There you go. That's what I was thinking. All right? Jay Hathaway went on a bike ride, God, is it 2009? With his kids, his grandkids. And he came back. They had their bikes there, the two grandkids. And he put the kickstand down on his bike and fell over, a heart attack. Great guy. Great guy. Just full of life. And Dorset, Vermont, if you want to look it up, if you've ever gone to Washington, D.C., and you've seen the Washington Monument, and the guy's like, have you noticed there's two different colors of marble? Well, the marble came from Dorset, Vermont. A couple other things came from Dorset, Vermont. I think it has the first public golf course in the United States. It also has the distinction of being the home of the man that invented Alcoholics Anonymous. He came from Dorset, Vermont.
Bill Wallace?
Yeah. He was from Dorset.
Did you ever visit the house and jiggle the doorknob?
Oh, yeah, I went there. I stayed there.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's pretty wild. I mean, just a little note there for me, and he wasn't there, didn't come back again. And then I went back to Dorset and hung out with him and went to his store there, that little store. And he's like, hey, you want to buy it?
That one.
No. Next to the store, which is still there, they renamed it again, Dorset Village or General Store. That's where Gregor's bakery was. The Gregor's Bakery, I think, was the main road there, whatever the highway is, and then you make the turn onto the little street that Hathaway lived on, where the store is. The general store is on that street. Everything was just packed onto this little sunny street. I mean, it was just idyllic of perfect Vermont town, and there's a lot of stuff that came right there from that little tiny town of Dorset, Vermont. I think it also has, you look it up, I think it's got the oldest tavern or one of the oldest taverns or something like that. That's also included in there.
Their marble is used to make the New York Public Library, Brown University.
Mm-hmm.
I do see Bill Wallace famous for being there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see anything about the first golf course, though.
I don't have the first one. I know it has Dorset also had, I think, it had a summer playhouse theater kind of thing in this little town. Yes. The sidewalks, is that in there too? And the sidewalks are made of marble.
Oh.
In Dorset. Yeah. And I think his son now might run Make-A-Wish in New York City. I wonder if his wife is still with us. But, yeah, so every once in a while. And I carried on that tradition. I would do it, I don't know. Oh, I did it today. Who did I send that to? I'm thinking of you. Just, to Paula. Yeah. Let's see if she wrote back. No, not yet. It's just a nice thing.
I do that to my friends, too, especially
you do?
The ones I haven't seen. Yep, just thinking of you.
Now, let me check my phone, see if I got one of those from you.
Oh, please.
Let's see.
I was telling my therapist.
I'm in the middle of it. Just searching. There's lots of messages. No. Man, but I don't have time.
I see you more than my wife. You're never going to get one of those. This is for the friends you haven't seen in, a little while. And you're thinking about them and you're worried about them. You don't have to have a conversation. Just say, hey.
No, that's right. We didn't get that.
Yeah.
All right.
I never get them, but I send them a lot.
No, I just sent you one, so you make you feel bad. All right.
Oh, you did.
All right, let's see. We got day in history. Reagan Dunn's coming on. This is going to be interesting. Jeff Rogers' take on the power of prayer. That's going to be at 4:30. So you got a lot. The show is just jam-packed with all sorts of fun stuff for everybody. And in the meantime, Nate's going to check traffic for us. And don't forget, I think I'm doing the show from Salt Lake tomorrow. And then Sunday, is it the 30th? They're going to have another...
Saturday.
No, Saturday's the peace/riot/protest.
No, it's the Christian rally at Gasworks Park.
Oh, there you go. So you sucked all the life out of the news story for us there. Thanks a lot for doing that.
No, I haven't heard of a protest planned yet.
Okay, well...
I'm sure there will be one.
Here we go. It's good old reliable Nathan with the traffic.
Here I am, Johnny. All right, this report brought to us by Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. Tacoma to Olympia is a 1-hour drive already this afternoon. We've got a 3-mile solid backup through JBLM and about 5 to 6 miles now scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia. Now in South Tacoma, North 5 and South 84th, got a new collision blocking your right lane. Just got about a mile backup here starting your State Route 512. This has westbound 512 jammed up in Parkland as you approach I-5. Now South 5 is backed up from State Route 16 to the scene. This is just that looky-loo backup. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways up to 50 minutes. Pretty solid backup now from Renton all the way into Sumner. Gets really thick at Highway 18. Seattle to Federal Ways at 40 minutes. Your backup starts at the Boeing Access Road, and you won't catch a break until you cross State Route 516. South Center to Bellevue is 25 minutes. You're slow from South Center up to Northeast 44th. Coming the other way, Bellevue to South Center, about 40 minutes now. You're heavy from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway. From there, it thins out, but it remains crowded down to the VMAC. And then another hefty backup through South Center. Linwood to Seattle, 40 minutes. You're bumper to bumper from Northgate down to I-90. And North 5 jams up approaching the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Cage-free eggs are good, free range are better, and mobile pasture-raised eggs are the best. Choose the best for your family. Locally fresh Wilcox Family Farms eggs. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Oh, by the way, Helen and Kent, I think of you often as well. There we go. Hey, I'm going to lay this out really simply for everybody because I can't think of any other way to do this. You have a retirement plan, right? And maybe you have been putting money into a 401k or you buy the stock market, whatever it is, because you want a little nest egg there that you're taking care of because you want to have some money ready to go for you when you finally decide you're going to retire. Okay, good. And you're making investments. I'd like you to make investments of about 6 hours. 6 hours a year. I'll tell you about your return on investment in a second. Here's what happens. 6 hours, that's about as much time as you have to be able to put in to making your life longer because you'll get a doctor at Longevity Medical Clinic that'll meet with you 4 or 5 times a year for about an hour, and the next thing you know, you're going to get more years of life. We are all aging, and there's no such thing as aging gracefully. We're all slowly falling apart, but wouldn't it be nice to slow it down, to stop the process, or at least extend the life part of it, giving you vitality and allowing you to have lots of energy as you go through your life? So, again, 6 hours, the return on this is years of life, and it all starts with you taking just a few moments to go and take the free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com. The free health analysis just waiting for you with all the doctors there and 25 years of experience at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
The Jake and Spike Show.
If you are watching on YouTube, you're going to see a giant snake here in just a minute.
Weekdays noon to 3.
Monroe Reptile Zoo in with us right now. Isaac Peterson joins us.
This is linguini. It's a Burmese python, albino Burmese python.
Albino Burmese python.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Spike is going to wear him. There we go.
I made the really bad mistake of eating a live mouse before the segment, and maybe he smells it on my breath.
Most people don't get comfortable with Spike that quickly.
No, I know. It takes most of my co-hosts at least a year.
Watch the Jake and Spike Show live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay,
Ooh,
deep breath.
High five.
You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, college students, Safeway is giving you 5% off. That's right. Junior colleges, tech schools, universities, just verify your student ID in the app. Unlock exclusive deals and shop on the app or in person. Better yet, subscribe to Fresh Pass to get free delivery and other special offers. Remember, if you use EBT, Fresh Pass is 50% off and you get savings on fresh produce. For all the details, visit Safeway.com/4U. That's Safeway.com/FOR in the letter U.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
If you want that summer body you've always dreamed of, then this message is for you, ladies, and you men too. Get rid of extra stubborn fat and address areas of loose skin around the waistline, chin, and under the upper arms with ProSculpt, the new one-day instant permanent fat removal and skin tightening treatment. Maybe you've tried the lasers, fat freezing methods, even those new pills, but without the desired results. ProSculpt is different. It's minimally invasive, performed while fully awake, gentle, yet powerful. Designed to target the waistline, chin, neck, arms, and thighs, ProSculpt uses FDA-cleared plasma technology to deliver immediate, permanent fat-reducing and skin-tightening results, all in just one visit. If you want that summer body this summer, then you must act now. Go to ProSculpt.com today to schedule your free consultation. Get $250 off. For instant, permanent fat reduction and skin tightening, visit ProSculpt.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granello. Dramatic video is out today showing students inside a church running for their lives. Well, 2 kids did not make it out alive yesterday. A gunman shot through the stained glass windows at Annunciation Church in Minneapolis. One of those killed was 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel. Today we heard from his father.
We will never be allowed to hold him, talk to him, play with him, and watch him grow into the wonderful young man he was on the path to becoming.
A 10-year-old was also killed. 15 other children and 3 adults in their 80s were injured. Police say the shooter fired 116 rounds into that church and then took his own life. President Trump's border czar says Seattle should expect more immigration stings. Tom Homan singled out the city today and other so-called sanctuary jurisdictions, telling reporters,
we're going to take the assets we have and move them to problem areas like sanctuary cities where we know for a fact they're releasing public safety threat, illegal aliens to the streets every day. That's where we need to send the majority of the resource, and that's where they're going.
New data is highlighting the deepening shortage of construction workers nationwide. Recent ICE enforcement action is being cited as a factor. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with more.
Boyd Worsham, CEO of the National Center for Construction Education and Research, blames part of the nationwide construction labor shortage on foreign-born workers laying low, scared of possible ICE raids.
Even if they are legal, I think there's a fear of a raid and then being caught up in something that is very disruptive to their family and to them.
In a new report just released by the Associated General Contractors of America, construction employment has stalled nationwide. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
At least 3 people in Washington are sickened. This is connected to a salmonella outbreak linked to recalled eggs. CDC says 95 people across 14 states have been infected. The eggs were sold under the Sunshine Yolks brand by Country Eggs. They were recalled yesterday. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk at 3:32. Here's Nate Connors.
This one brought to you by Kia of Everett. Tacoma to Olympia has gone up to an hour and 10 minutes. Got a backup through JBLM and then scattered backups between Lacey and Olympia. And then South 5 is packed from State Route 16 down to South 84th there in South Tacoma because of an accident in the northbound lanes at South 84th. And that's got northbound traffic backed up to Bridgeport Way right now. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, 50 minutes. Pretty solid backup between Renton and Sumner. It gets really thick there at Highway 18. Seattle to Federal Ways at 40 minutes. Your backup starts at Interurban Avenue down to State Route 516. Linwood to Seattle, 40 minutes. It's bumper to bumper from Northgate to I-90. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both 1-hour commutes. Everett to Marysville's at 20 minutes. It's really heavy between the Snohomish River and 529. Thinking of a Kia EV? You better act fast. Thousands in tax credits ends September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for their huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Weather update is brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly clear tonight. Highs topping out around 80 this afternoon. More 80s for tomorrow. Right now, 79 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home Comfort Alliance. Thank you. No, I just read that there's this segment or the next.
Oh, okay.
I'm supposed to just rave about them. Love that heat pump. I went out there and hugged it the other day. Hug your heat pump.
You sent a text saying you were thinking about it?
Okay, you know what? I open my heart, I hold it out, and you guys mock it.
No. Not mocking it.
Okay. Home Comfort Alliance, heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Only one store I can think of. Any one place to go. It's Home Comfort Alliance. Stay tuned a little bit. I'll tell you about all the savings they've been able to find, and they'll pass on to you. That's what they're doing for you over there at Home Comfort Alliance. Well, we're moving along, huh? I see. Here we go. This day in history. It's not 1989.
Ooh,
1889. Just that wouldn't be good. This guy, Caleb Branham, invents a carbonated drink for digestion. Drink it, you'll feel better. Because people that were feeling kind of gassy would reach for one of these things known as a Brad drink. 1955, Emmett Till is murdered. Remember his mother. It was an amazing story in Time Magazine, American Life Magazine. And the Undertaker had suggested a closed casket. She insisted it was an open casket, Emmett Till. 1963, Martin Luther King delivers I Have a Dream speech at the March in Washington. And then in 1996, Charles and Diane divorce. Little ditty about Chuck and Diane. 2025, John Cougar Mellencamp smokes his 1,000th 500 cigarette in 1 week.
Oh,
see that guy? Man, oh man. Lighting him up.
Oh, Coug.
Chaining him up, yeah. Okay, let's go with Caleb Branham and the invention of the carbonated drink that, well, everybody seems to enjoy nowadays. First of all, which one I'm talking about? Well, of course, it's...
Nickel, nickel, to-do-la-da-da. Nickel, nickel, to-do-la-da-da. Pepsi Cola hits the spot. 12 full ounces, that's a lot. Twice as much as a nickel to Pepsi Cola is a drink for you. Nickel, 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 Pepsi Cola is a drink for you. Nickel, nickel, to-do-la-da-da. Nickel, nickel, to-do-la-da-da. Pepsi Cola hits the spot. 12 full ounces, that's a lot. Twice as much as a nickel to Pepsi.
Twice as much as what?
A nickel, too?
Pepsi Cola is a drink for you. Nickel, 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 Pepsi Cola is a drink for you.
What do you think of that, kids? You like that one? So it was 1886. This guy was going to go to medical school, and his family's like, hey, we're bankrupt. We can't go to medical school. He's like, well, hey, what am I going to do? Oh, I know. I'll become a farmer. Pharmacist. Yeah. Whoops. Big swing from medical school to farming. No, he becomes a pharmacist in a little town there in Carolina. Carolina. He decides, he comes up with this drink since he's a pharmacist and people would stop in there because you get all sorts of stuff there in the pharmacy. So he comes up with this drink called Pep Cola. And first of all, he calls it Brad drink, which people are like, yeah, give me a Brad drink because I'm feeling kind of gassy. Are you feeling gassy? Try a Brad drink. You might enjoy it. And people are like, whew, I feel better. What do you call it? I call it Brad's drink. People are like, yeah, I kind of gross to think about the guy who was going to be a doctor and then suddenly thought he'd be a farmer. Then he became a pharmacist. I don't want a Brad drink. So he starts shopping around. He finds out that there is a place, there's somebody else has already come up with it called Pep Cola. And he bought the name for $100, which was a lot of money back then.
Yep.
But he needed the name. So he then calls it Pep Cola, but then later on it's changed to Pepsi Cola. And in 1910, there's 250 bottlers in 24 states. And now to this day, well, a whole bunch of people drink it.
Lots of women have taken up fishing these days, including me, Polly Bergen. But we don't have to...
Polly Bergen fishes?
...angle for compliments on our figures. What with the trend toward lighter foods, and today's Pepsi Cola goes along. Have a Pepsi, the light refreshment.
Yeah, most of the advertisements were all women. And down somewhere on the advertising, on the bottle, it would say, born in the Carolinas, because that's where it came from, because that's where the guy was from.
Come alive. Come alive.
1965.
You're in the Pepsi generation.
Come on, everybody. Kick and bump change.
Come alive. You're in the Pepsi generation.
These are the good times of a new generation.
Yeah.
This is the drink that helps the good times roll. Pepsi-Cola. Clean and quenching, cold and bold, straight through your thirst. There's more spark to this one, more swing, more of everything that's made Pepsi the official drink of today's generation. Ooh.
Come alive. Come alive. You're in the Pepsi generation.
Yeah. And in 1982, Pepsi launched the new ad campaign, the Pepsi Challenge.
Coca-Cola says it's the real thing.
But Pepsi-Cola believes that when it comes to colas, the only real thing is taste. That's why the Pepsi Challenge has been asking thousands of people across the country to let their own taste decide. And the fact is, nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coca-Cola. Pepsi.
Pepsi. Pepsi.
I like Pepsi a lot better.
Pepsi tastes better.
Taste.
Did you ever do it? Did you ever see people doing that? You weren't even alive back then. Yeah. Remember that? I think it was about the same time they were going to do Hands Across America. Remember that thing?
I've read about it.
Yeah, my brother and sister and I wanted to do that. And we kept thinking, how are they going to get, like, across the Mississippi? That was a big concern. We didn't want to just stand out there in Lancaster or, outside of Philadelphia somewhere, holding hands with some sweaty guy for a couple hours. Like, I don't think it's ever going to work.
No, it didn't.
About the same time.
That's the real thing. So take the Pepsi Challenge and let your taste decide.
Ba-bum. All right, so a little interesting bit of news for you. There are rumors that Taylor Swift would perform at the Super Bowl. But the problem is Pepsi is the one that runs the Super Bowl halftime show. It's all about Pepsi. Pepsi. So the fact that Taylor Swift is, the spokesperson for Coca-Cola. I think I'm getting this correct, right? Isn't that right? Isn't she Coca-Cola? I think she is Coca-Cola.
That's what you said.
Well, hang on. I don't want to say something that's not right. I think, Taylor Swift is Coke. So that would be the big problem for everybody because Coke, Coke says, well, even though she still is the sponsor for them, there were rumors flying around the internet that they had stopped and they cut all ties. They haven't. She is still the sponsor for Diet Coke. She's been in there since 2013. So there would be some problems if all of a sudden she's up on stage. This halftime show brought to you by Pepsi.
Ooh, can't have that.
And Diet Coke. And now here's Taylor Swift.
Nate's the only person I've ever met that actually says he likes Pepsi more than Coke.
Love it. Hate Coke.
He's even wearing his Pepsi shirt.
Yes, I am.
Does it bother you when you go to a restaurant, you're like, can I get a Pepsi? And they're like, is Coke okay?
Yeah, it does. And I say no, it's not okay.
The same thing when Rye's like, I'll have a Coke. Is Pepsi okay? And Rye says, if I wanted a Pepsi, I would have asked for a Pepsi.
Right.
They're like, well, we don't have Coke. So Pepsi's not okay. So what do you do? What's your second choice?
7-Up.
Whoa. Just like that.
Yeah.
That's a head snapper right there. Huh?
And I'll accept a Sprite.
Oh, you will?
Yeah.
Okay. When I was a kid growing up, if you drank Sprite, you were gay. Like, I'll have a Sprite. What are you, gay? Like, I'm drinking a Sprite. Yeah, you're gay. I'm like, all right.
Wow.
You're some gay Sprite drinker.
God, he grew up in a tough neighborhood.
There's Andrew. Andrew will be saving that one. Here we go. Here comes Nate with Look at Traffic.
Yipper, DR Horton has the update. Tacoma to Olympia, hour 5 minutes. You've got big backup through South Tacoma, another backup through JBLM, and then again between Lacey and Olympia. It's a real struggle today. South Tacoma, we just cleared that crash north 5 at South 84th. It's on your right shoulder. You're backed up to Gravely Lake Drive. Olympia to Tacoma is at 40 minutes. Southbound 167 at 24th in Pacific. A stall blocks your left lane. North 405 is crowded from South Center all the way to the VMAC. South Center to Bellevue is going to take you 25 minutes. Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Everett are both 1 hour commutes. And on the water, the Mukilteo Ferry Terminal has a 2 hour wait for drivers. Your Edmonds-Kingston route, 1 hour wait for drivers in Kingston, 2 hour wait for drivers in Edmonds. And the Point Defiance Terminal has a 1 hour wait for drivers. With over 20 Puget Sound communities, D.R. Horton has the right home for you. Learn more at drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
The G and Ursula Show.
You wouldn't enter into a business partnership without a contract.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Why in the world would you enter into a marriage without a chore prenup?
I just predict trouble in that marriage. I may be all wrong on this. Our marriage is good, and we did not have to get into a prenup for chores.
He should probably have agreed to do a chore prenup.
Watch live on YouTube and the KIRO Newsradio app.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Open Phone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Open Phone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to Need to take calls on the go? Open Phone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Open Phone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Open Phone. Open Phone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Open Phone for free at openphone.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/free. openphone.com/FREE.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're dedicated to serving people 50 and up like me. Our needs are different. Big Wireless wants us in an unlimited plan, but if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on affordable, reliable plans, including data that suits your needs, not ours. Our plans start at just $20, and you'll get the best customer service in the business.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors. Held to a higher standard since 1968.
Hey there, Dawn Riling with Olympic Hot Tub. Ever wanted to try cold plunge? Our Cold Plunge for a Cause event is the perfect opportunity. Visit our showrooms in August where we have our new Vigor Cold Plunge displayed. Bring your suit and take the plunge. Olympic will donate $50 for every minute you soak to Charity Water. This wonderful nonprofit brings life-giving clean waters to communities around the world. Find details and sign up today at olympichottub.com.
Olympic Hot Tub.
They all do that. Sitting in a cold plunge at Olympia.
You do that anyway, don't you?
I know. So they raise money for charity, but I think it's only good till like the 30th of August or something like that. Oh. Check that out. I can do that. It'd be fun. This guy's a moron. Moron. We've sounded this guy.
I do.
He's doing this because he's trying to get famous. He's a stand-up comedian. Who isn't a stand-up comedian nowadays? An Illinois man plans on buying and returning 110-pound anvils on Amazon until someone does something about it.
I've been using Amazon Prime to buy anvils on Amazon.com for the past 6 months with free shipping. And here's the thing. I just keep returning them.
You laugh at his own joke.
And I'm going to keep doing that.
By the way, think of this for a moment. How many times have you ever said anything and then laughed at your own joke? I mean, if you're not like an evil character in a cartoon, right? And then we'll make Nate drink Coke.
Until somebody does something about it.
Yeah, twice he laughed at his own joke. He's that funny. Here's what he does.
It's been about a week or so since I revealed that I have been buying and returning anvils on Amazon.com continuously for the past 6 months. You can see here, this is last week's haul. And I've heard feedback from a lot of different people saying lots of not so nice things about my character and how I'm
add me in there.
A bad person and harming minimum wage workers. And I would argue, no, that's not the case. Is it somehow wrong to be helping a minimum wage worker hit their fitness goals? I don't think so. And for now, I will be continuing to buy and return anvils on Amazon.com until someone does something about it.
What is his problem? He doesn't like. Basically, he says he does this, and he believes the carbon footprint from having the same anvil shipped over and over again. One commentator says, but I guess he doesn't like how Amazon does business.
He says in one of his videos,
yes, go ahead.
That he's trying to end Amazon. This is his plot to end Amazon. Obviously, it's not going to work, but that's the only thing that I could find that resembles a mission statement from him.
Okay, I don't know.
I think your first guess is that he's
just trying to get attention.
He's trying to get attention.
Yeah, his problem is that he's not really hurting Amazon because it's actually a third-party seller called SimpleGo. SimpleGo, that's the company that provides third-party production sales service to Amazon. So they are the company that gets it, but the anvil is being made by another one. So what he's actually doing is hurting the small business because they have to end up paying Amazon selling fees. So he's not hurting Amazon as much as he's hurting the company that's making the anvils. And then SimpleGo is the company that then works the in-between, right? Like drop shipping them in there. So he's not doing anything other than the fact that here he is. He's getting attention on this show. And it's just a stupid stunt that's really not going to amount to anything other than the fact that he gets a 110-pound anvil sent to his house and he turns around and ships it back. He is a Prime Amazon user, so I guess he gets free returns on things like that.
It is surprising sometimes when the cost of the shipping is probably more than the cost of the item.
Yeah.
I returned something recently, and sometimes I'll just say, "Oh, just throw it away." But they seem to stop doing that.
Did they?
Yeah, and so this was like a coat rack that had a piece broken, and it cost $20, and it must have cost at least $30 to ship because it had this big, heavy granite base, which is the thing that broke.
Yeah.
But I had to go down to a UPS store and drop it off, and they shipped it back.
When I bought, unfortunately, 9 chairs or 8 chairs from Wayfair by mistake because I had my little shopping cart full and didn't realize it was full.
Oh, you do that at Comey sometimes.
Yes. And they shipped a whole bunch of chairs, and I was like, I only needed one. They said, keep them.
Yeah. Makes more sense sometimes.
You're thinking, how much are they making on these cheap chairs? I could just buy one, buy 8, pay for one.
Yeah.
I was like, what am I going to do with 8 chairs?
You got to pay to get them junked.
I don't know. Oh, I gave them to Charlie, and then she sold them all online.
Oh, nice.
But she didn't just put the chair up. She put a story behind each chair. It would say, snuggle up with your favorite book and a warm cup of tea on a winter night. In this deluxe something chair. And she's like, then everybody bought the chairs. You got to have a story. You got to have a story behind the whole thing. That always helps, all that sort of stuff. Where's Nate's thing? I got to move it up to the top of the list because everybody wants to know is why it's good old reliable Nathan with a Pepsi in his hand doing traffic.
My Pepsi, sir. Tacoma to Olympia, going to take you an hour, 5 minutes. You've got 3 big backups, South Tacoma, JBLM, and between Lacey and Olympia. In Pacific, southbound 167 at 24th, it's a stall blocking your left lane. It's got you backed up bumper to bumper approaching Highway 18. Auburn to Puyallups at 25 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, 40 minutes. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, 15 to 20 minutes max on both I-90 and 520. Eastbound 90, inside the Mercer Tunnel, we've got a collision blocking 2 left lanes, and that's got you backed up bumper to bumper to the Mount Baker Tunnel. Seattle to Bellevue at a half hour. North 5 express lanes, we've got a couple issues for you. One at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge is a disabled dump truck blocking your right lane, and then in Northgate, a collision blocks your left lane at 92nd. Linwood to Seattle has gone up to 50 minutes. It is thick from Northgate down to I-90. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Having your vehicle serviced is our stress-free promise at Subaru of Puyallup, with convenient service hours from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results. Faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Your car steering wheel could be a ticking time bomb. At least 24 people have died and many more injured because their airbags fired shrapnel at them upon inflating. Tens of millions of cars have been recalled. If you suffered cuts that required stitches, hearing or vision loss, or broken bones, please contact us today. You could be owed money for medical bills and other damages.
Morgan & Morgan. Visit us at badairbags.com for an office near you. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, we've got a new administration. What have we seen as a result at the IRS?
Well, the result that I think everyone is seeing is, unfortunately, reduction in staff.
And yet people think that because of those reductions, they're in a better spot.
Well, it's not necessarily the case because the IRS is still going to work with the staff that they have. And in fact, their collection activity is going up.
But now is also the best time to get something done that could be favorable to the taxpayer who owes.
It's very interesting. I've had 2 cases now that I was able to get settled with the IRS fairly quickly and with some excellent results. I think they're just trying to get any case where there's a real live person working on it through the system quicker. They're needing to handle a lot more cases. The caseload isn't going to slow down.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Hey, are aches, injuries, or everyday pain slowing you down? Well, it is time to move better, feel stronger, and get back to doing what you love. IRG Physical and Hand Therapy is now accepting new patients, and no referral is needed. Their expert team offers personalized hands-on care to help you recover faster and stay pain-free longer. Shannon, what is it like to see new patients walk through your doors?
Rock, it's wonderful. You know why? It's because it's an opportunity for us at IRG to make a difference in someone's lives. It's so important that when people come in, they experience engagement, coaching, teaching. We build relationships with our patients, and we want to make it easy. We all know that healthcare has a lot of what I call minutia in it. We have a concierge call center. When you call, we're going to check your authorization, verification, certification, justification. We're going to find out everything we need to know about your insurance, and we're going to make it easy for you because we want you focusing on getting better.
And all you got to do is head over to irgpt.com to find the clinic nearest you. irgpt.com.
Good morning. I'm Heather Bosch.
Your best source for local news.
A minimum wage increase proposal is moving forward in unincorporated King County.
KIRO News Radio.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at ourrealsuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
Looking to hire? ZipRecruiter finds the best candidate for your job fast. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
Minnesota Catholic school shooter was
obsessed with the idea of killing children.
After CDC director firing, workers stage protest.
Out here showing their support for the CDC.
Federal Reserve governor's termination.
Is it okay for the president to say, I've heard, I saw, I think?
This is the CBS World News Roundup Late Edition. I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The shooter at a Minneapolis Catholic school mass yesterday wanted to kill and terrorize children, according to authorities. While the motive is still under investigation, Acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson says what is clear from evidence recovered so far.
The shooter expressed hate towards black people. The shooter expressed hate towards Mexican people. The shooter expressed hate towards Christian people. The shooter expressed hate towards Jewish people. In short, the shooter appeared to hate all of us.
2 Annunciation school students died, one of them 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel. His father saying,
"Please remember Fletcher for the person he was and not the act that ended his life. Give your kids an extra hug and kiss today. We love you, Fletcher. You'll always be with us."
15 other children and 3 adults in their 80s were wounded. A source familiar confirms to CBS News the current Health and Human Services Deputy Secretary, Jim O'Neill, has been selected to serve as the acting director of the CDC. It comes as a walkout and demonstration took place outside the CDC headquarters today. CBS's Skylar Henry.
This is all in response to the last 24 to 48 hours, really in response to the White House saying that CDC Director Susan Monterez has been fired. She said that she is not resigning.
Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook files a lawsuit against President Trump asking a judge to block the president's attempts to fire her from the central bank over allegations she committed mortgage fraud, which she denies. She has not been charged. Loyola law professor Lori Levinson.
As the lawsuit alleges, you can't have just any type of allegation to get rid of a Federal Reserve Board member. And in fact, the law limits it to inefficiency, neglect of duty, or malfeasance in office, or comparable misconduct. But nothing that Trump has pointed to even comes close.
The Department of Homeland Security is moving detainees out of the Alligator Alcatraz Immigration Detention Facility in the Florida Everglades. A federal judge ruled that parts of the facility must be taken down. Trump borders are Tom Homan.
I thought it was a great transition facility, but I do think ICE needs more brick and mortar facilities. We've got the money now to build infrastructure, like we're building the wall and other things down there. We need permanent facilities.
DHS sources tell CBS News the Trump administration is preparing to launch major immigration enforcement efforts in Chicago, similar to L.A. Stocks rose on Wall Street today. Now this.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Get renter's insurance to protect the things that make your place a home, including coverage for theft or damage. Visit Progressive.com.
Coming up, 2 firefighters arrested on the front lines of the Bear Gulch fire. New details after Nate Connors at the traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Let's see. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. We're dealing with 2 separate issues this afternoon on the express lanes. First, at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge, a stalled semi blocks the right lane. And then up in Northgate at 92nd, a collision has 1 car blocking your right lane and a couple other vehicles partially blocking the left lane. And the express lanes right now are just bumper to bumper about Ravenna in the U District. Now, North 5 main line, pretty clear leaving Seattle until you reach Shoreline. Seattle to Everett's at 50 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, Everett, 55 minutes. Eastbound 90 inside the Mercer Tunnel, a collision blocks 2 left lanes. You're backed up bumper to Rainier Avenue. Seattle to Bellevue will take you a half hour. Linwood to Seattle is pushing 55 minutes, and it is really thick from Northgate all the way down to I-90. Tacoma to Olympia is struggling at an hour 5 minutes. And in Pacific, we just cleared that stall. Southbound 167 at 24th in Pacific. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. You can beat inflation at Lake Washington Windows and Doors for a limited time. Save with 20% inflation discounts and 18 months free financing. Learn more at lakewashingtonwindows.com. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Federal agents detained 2 firefighters battling the Bear Gulch fire. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol now tells us they were in the country illegally. Fire Information Officer Rachel Lipsky says those arrests yesterday are still not slowing down the firefight.
The Border Patrol operation is not interfering with firefighting activity, and Bear Gulch firefighters continue to make progress on the fire.
Now, Border Patrol released a statement today saying the Bureau of Land Management reached out for help, says the BLM canceled contracts with 2 private firefighting firms following a criminal investigation. We are now learning what the FBI found during a renewed search this week for accused killer Travis Decker.
The FBI led more than 100 personnel in a 2-day grid search surrounding the campground near Leavenworth, where Travis Decker's 3 daughters were found dead. Investigators say they're examining several items they recovered to see if they're linked to the case and could be used by them or future investigators to determine what happened to Decker. Heather Bosch, KIRO News Radio.
A convicted serial rapist is back behind bars after he was allowed to post bail. Noel Stepney walked out to the Regional Justice Center in Kent after being convicted of raping a woman in her home. Seattle Police Detective Eric Munoz.
The convict essentially bailed out as if he was bailing out of jail. But unfortunately, he was a convicted felon and he should have remained in custody.
Munoz says Seattle Police arrested Stepney this week about a month after he walked free. He faces more than 13 years in prison. A temporary fix is in the works to bring cars back on the White River Bridge. KIRO News Radio's Chris Sullivan with the update.
WashDOT is already manufacturing 5 braces that will wrap around the damaged steel of the 76-year-old bridge. Acting like a cast for a broken bone, these braces will help disperse the load and allow traffic back on the bridge. WashDOT hopes to have 1 lane of alternating traffic across the bridge by mid to late September. Traffic will be controlled by signals at either end. Engineers are working on a permanent fix, but no details so far. The bridge was hit by an overheight truck earlier this month. The detour route is 38 miles. Chris Sullivan, KIRO News Radio.
Weather now brought to you by State Roofing and Exterior, staying clear for the most part tonight and dry with highs in the upper 70s, low 80s today. Mostly sunny tomorrow with highs back into the 80s. Right now 79 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
102, take 2. The French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson.
Of course, I'm having some problems, she said. Struggling with the teleprompter. Remove the bottle of booze so I can read that thing. All right. Okay, we have some music to bring them on. Some historic music or something. Reagan Dunn, King County Council member. Where is he? We'll bring him in here. Hang on. Reagan Dunn in here. This guy's a troublemaker. I was reading this letter he wrote back in January 7th, 2025. And there he is. Oh, look at you, casual man, just sitting there with all your paneling behind you or something. All right, Reagan Dunn. You and I talked, I guess it was probably April or something, because here's the letter, January 7th, 2025. You said, hey, let's audit. Let's look into these King County Department of Community and Health Services for the community-based nonprofit juvenile diversion services, including controversial restorative community pathways. The latest audit plan comes in response to request that you had put out. Finally, ta-da! Reagan Dunn, you got the audit, and I'm sure everything is just peachy keen with the money that has been spent on all of these restorative justice programs. What'd you find, my friend?
Well, as you know, I made that audit request to the county auditor back at the beginning of the year, and I made a similar request 2 years ago to the state auditor to look at this. And what we have, John, and I'm not overstating this, it's an unmitigated disaster. It is one of the worst audits I've ever seen. And as you know, the background here is after the George Floyd incident and the real challenges back about 4 or 5 years ago, the county decided to do all kinds of micro grants out into the community to some of these historically underrepresented groups. Started out with $22 million or so, and it ballooned to $1.5 billion in high-risk, unsecured grants through King County, about 1/6 of our total annual budget. And
in the span of how many years was $1.6 billion spent? Was that over like 6-year period or a 5-year period?
$1.5 billion over the last 18 months. And it went from 22 million to 1.5 billion.
Oh my God.
And then, of course, the policies behind them are really bad, like restorative community pathways and a lot of other programs that just go out to community groups. We can talk about those in a minute. But what happened was the auditor found disastrous consequences, evidence of fraud, altered receipts, cash withdrawals, all kinds of going above and beyond the scope of the contract, no documentation, forged documentation, to the tune of, and I think it's fair to say, tens of millions of dollars of fraud, waste, and abuse, but certainly millions, many millions. And the auditor came and told us all this on Tuesday. And so obviously, you know, we've been talking about these programs as bad. We are now talking on your show about their fiscal mismanagement, which is substantial and which we need to do something about.
Something sort of piqued your interest to begin this request for this audit. You had been quietly sort of behind the scenes hearing stories. Kids would be sent to these things. They would never get in touch with anybody. There was no follow-up. Nobody seemed to care necessarily. And you sort of saw a pattern of malfeasance. And then you thought, well, okay, what are the metrics on this? I remember some people from one of the organizations, it might have been Community Pathways, and I don't want to put the words in their mouth if it's not theirs. It was basically like, we don't need to be accountable to you because you guys are part of the system and you are part of the problem. So don't be questioning what we're doing with our money because you are the problem and we're going to solve this on our own. You don't need to worry about us. So this thing just kept growing and growing. So you asked for this. It took you a long time to get this audit, Reagan, done.
Yeah, I asked twice, two different auditors. It took 2 years. I finally got a Democrat, Rod Dombowski, to join with me, and I forced the issue before the county council. And by the time that pressure was put on them and they had to vote, I did get a unanimous approval of my legislation to do the audit. The audit showed what, you know, I feared. Look, I'm a former federal prosecutor in 3 jurisdictions. I can tell you where there's smoke, there's generally fire. We knew the metrics on these programs were bad, including 40% of these juveniles who have committed, in some cases, violent crimes, not even showing up to the diversion program at all. We know that there is a 53% recidivism rate for the felonies in just 2 years. I mean, it's not working. Not only is it not working, there's no transparency to it. There's no accountability. And so finally the audit said, hey, yeah, there is no transparency. There is no accountability. There's out and out fraud here, in our opinion, according to the auditor. And so what worries me the most here is a couple things. One, King County is doing a really, really bad job at administering and supervising the public's money, taxpayer dollars, a lot of it, $1.5 billion. So that's one concern. Second concern is that the programs aren't doing any good And that is a significant problem. And this is what I want you to just think about for a second, John. 18,000 employees of King County government. Okay. Right now, the policy is that you need to come to work 1 day a week. You can work from home the rest of the time. And what the county is beginning to do is just simply use subcontractors, like these grant recipient agencies, to do the county's work. They're union protected. They can't be fired. They work from home. And they're asking for 5 new tax increases this year alone to add to the $9.5 billion that the state has increased taxes this year. It is a very serious problem, requires far more oversight than we're giving it now. And this audit is just the tip of the iceberg, unfortunately.
Sometimes you don't want to lift up these rocks to find out what's underneath, because then you've got another problem, right? As long as the rock's sitting on top, then you don't have to worry about the termites or something else that's causing the problems. I know Dow Constantine was a big supporter of these programs. He went on a number of shows. He did press conferences, and he was going to. There was systemic racism that was running throughout this system, and this was him, turning back and addressing 400 years of oppression and the rest of the stuff. So then he takes the money, spending in 2021. King County allocated $16 million to restorative community pathways, and then you looked at the numbers and you saw these. It's not working. There's no metrics. And when they were being asked, where are your metrics? They said, don't bother us. Don't worry. It's all working. So the amount of money is just mind-boggling that it goes out. Is there not a rule in place that there needs to be an audit of programs annually? Shouldn't this just be something that Reagan Dunn from King County Council doesn't have to call and beg and request numerous times to get an audit on something? Shouldn't they be auditing all the time, all of this money, whether it's this program or some other program?
Yeah, well, the standard is 33% of the programs need to be reviewed carefully every year. DCHS, the agency that was asked to do this, audited in 1 year 1%. Okay, and so it is not looked at. There were standards in place for DCHS, which is a county agency, but they didn't adhere to their own standards. So I proposed legislation here just yesterday that will take best practices from across the country and also from the federal government that require DCHS and the rest of the county grant-making agencies to adhere to these high-level standards on the way out the door. That's one part of it. So actually, King County's got to clean up our side of the street. I'm in the minority here. I'm leading the opposition, and I voted against most of these programs. But to be fair, I work for King County. We got to clean up our side of the street. But we got real problems on the other side of the street for recipients that, and most are good recipients. But the ones that are bad are really bad. And what's interesting, John, in the last 24 hours since this issue blew up, I have gotten case after case, example after example of things that would shock your conscience, to the point where I am probably going to go ahead and have to do this. Only the second time I've ever done it in my career. Write a letter to the FBI. I'm going to have to get the feds involved. The last time I did it, people were prosecuted, went to trial, and went to jail. That's where I'm at now. I'm very frustrated. It's about trust and accountability of the public and their tax dollars being spent wisely. And King County is so bloated, so out of control, so working from home, not in the office, delegating to unsupervised groups, to a point where I can't believe anyone would vote for tax increases right now for King County, to be honest.
So without mentioning any names, give me an example to blow my mind or shock the conscience of the court of some of the shenanigans that were going on with, say, billing and then checks being cut.
Well, the auditor did some backtrack changes. You know, that old trick where you go back and look at what they did, and somebody had submitted $7,000 reimbursement, and then before, when the auditor asked, they changed it to a $1,000 reimbursement. So they're falsifying this. What I heard today, John, and there's so many of them so what happens is everybody comes out of the woodwork when this stuff blows up.
Right.
Blowing up. People are pointing fingers. But, for example, children of grant recipients getting high-level salaries from these programs and then not working, perhaps driving super expensive high quality luxury cars would be one of the examples. Living lavish lifestyles. I mean, this is Exhibit A on public malfeasance, and so, excuse me, sorry, that's what we focus on.
Right. And I was looking at the list of the stuff that you had put out there, billing for $10,000 when really was only worth $1,000, checks just simply going out, putting family members on payroll, and then not having anybody be accountable to the hours that were being served. This is just, people will do what you expect or what you inspect. People will do what you inspect, and that is an auditor saying, well, where's this money going? But if it's not your money and nobody's checking, what does it matter? So it's like somebody stealing from the till. You work at the bar, you take $10 out at the end of the day, and you're like, well, what's now? 10, I need 20. And then 20 becomes 100, and the next thing you know, 2 years later, the place is out of business because people have been robbing the cash register, right? But the beauty part of government is the cash register never gets empty. There's always someone to fill the register. So with this audit, getting the rock rolling on this one, and maybe I'm going to put you on the spot on this when I get done, other than getting in touch with the FBI, are you going to start to ask for accounting of some of these other different divisions other than this one that's handling the restorative justice and the rest of it?
Yeah, well, we'll continue. First of all, this legislation I'm putting forward is going to apply to all of the grant-making agencies across the board. We're going to there's some best practices that have been developed by NACO, the National Association of Counties, and from the U.S. Department of Justice, a few others. We'll want to put those in place. But yeah, I mean, the theory of prosecution is deterrence, right? As a former federal prosecutor, I could tell you that. We need to make some examples of some of these bad actors. But you're right. If there is no oversight, if there is only 1%, for example, of these programs, and you're talking hundreds and hundreds of programs, the majority just funded all of their friends and all of their nonprofits out in the community, there's going to be some real problems. And so I hope that both the local prosecutor and our law enforcement, all the feds, don't make the mistake of letting this one pass, because what's going to happen is I'm going to turn up some pretty ugly stuff, and I will continue to drill down on it. So the only thing the county can do is dramatically improve its grant-making, security, oversight, transparency, and operations. I got legislation to do it. We're going to have to hold some people accountable. That's not really my role as a council member. Occasionally I'll gesture in that direction and add help, but it sure sends a bad picture when I know that 18,000 employees in King County aren't showing up to work because their leaders aren't requiring them to. Good people. We all know that, if you work from home, you just got to show up at the office one day a week. You're going to mow the lawn. You're going to do a bunch of stuff. You might put in 3 or 4 hours a day managing your grant recipients, because that work's no longer in-house in King County. We figured out a way to just contract it out. It's a real problem.
So, Reagan, who could call for the 18,000 employees to return back to work? I'm assuming that at this point, the 6-foot distance that was made up by Fauci, the masks have gone away, the hand washing and the rest. Can everybody come back? And who would call them all back?
Well, so the county got in such trouble financially from a fiscal perspective, they started jettisoning office space. They started cutting leases. They tried to balance the budget by just closing up their fiscal operation, okay? And by doing this, by contracting and using, there's all these professional contractors that orbit around governments to try and get pieces of the action, right? It's kind of the industrial nonprofit group. Some of them, and most of them, I want to be clear, most of them are real good, okay? And we all know the faith-based nonprofits. We all know those low-level Habitat for Humanity is an example of a great one.
Yes.
There's a lot of others, right, that are doing a really good job, but there's these new ones that are focused on, like, restorative human pathways, criminal justice, all of this stuff that have no record of success, so in some cases unwilling to provide data. All of this has got to be a wholesale change. The executive, to her credit, said she's going to work with me on this, because I used to work at a federal grant-making agency. We're going to try and clean up, first, our side of the street in King County, and then we're going to have to cull away these grant recipients that just clearly aren't doing a good job.
I would look into the King County Housing Authority next.
Well, yeah, the Homeless Authority's Exhibit B. I mean, that's a bad job. There's a lot of stuff I have to work through here, but first and foremost, see, if if the majority party doesn't want to give me an audit, they won't. If they don't want to give me a hearing, say, for example, to keep the juvenile jail open, they won't. It takes a lot of guerrilla tactics from my perspective to try and get these hearings, get these audits. So when you get them, you got to take advantage of them and move on. So,
well,
anyway, that's what we're working on.
You'll be continuing to be the skunk at the garden party, Reagan Dunn, but I think that's something that's you're sort of used to. So, but the good news is Dal Constantine is now running Sound Transit, so I'm sure we won't have any sort of problems over there.
No problem at all. More light rail to West Seattle. Let's take that over there.
All right. Reagan Dunn, thank you very much for spending some time. Good luck. Maybe the FBI gets in here and maybe a few people end up going to jail. Thank you.
Thank you, John, for having me on.
Bye-bye. Bye.
It's good old reliable with this Pepsi shirt. Pepsi.
Yeah, you're Nathan.
All right, we're dealing with two separate issues on our express lanes this afternoon, and let's see. The first at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge, a stalled dump truck blocks the right lane, and then in Northgate at 92nd, a collision now blocks your two left lanes. That leaves one lane open, so the express lanes are bumper to bumper right now at Roanoke. North 5 main line beginning to fill in at Mercer into Northgate. More slowing between Shoreline and Linwood. Seattle to Everett, 55 minutes. It's also 55 minutes from Bellevue to Everett. 405, you've got scattered backups between Kirkland and Alderwood. Everett to Marysville, 25 minutes, bumper to bumper from Highway 2 up to 529. We cleared our collision eastbound 90 inside the Mercer Tunnel. That backup is quickly thinning out. Linwood to Seattle, 50 minutes. It's bumper to bumper from Northgate to I-90. Southbound 99 is heavy from the zoo to the stadiums. And Bellevue to South Center, 40 minutes, bumper to bumper at 520 to Cold Creek Parkway, where we have a crash sitting in the HOV lane. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Ah, summer in the Puget Sound region. Hanging at the beach. A nice coffee on a long walk with the pooch. And so much time sitting in traffic every weekend, literally going nowhere.
We've all felt it. Big construction projects are underway across the region, and I can help you get around the big delays.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan, presented by Carter Subaru. Get all of Sully's choke points at mynorthwest.com and the KIRO News Radio app.
World-renowned pianist and composer Keiko Matsui returns to Dimitro's Jazz Alley this week, August 28th through 31st. Don't miss 6 intimate shows featuring music from her stunning new album, Euphoria. Tickets at jazzalley.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your really expensive limited edition sneakers and your new suit for your cousin's wedding. Except you never actually bought the suit because you can't stop buying sneakers. So you show up to the wedding looking like you're going grocery shopping. But hey, at least your sneakers will look good in the pictures, until you're cropped out of every last one of them. So go ahead and get Progressive, so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have Leaf Filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit DanielNelsonMD.com. That's DanielNelsonMD.com.
Mariners fans, it's time to bring the noise to T-Mobile Park. This lineup is loaded up and locked in. From every moonshot.
Now Raleigh obliterates this. How far? Way back there.
To every how in the world did he catch that moment?
And Julio makes the catch. No fly zone in full effect.
Be here as the squad shuts the door and lights the W.
Munoz looking for the final out. Here's the stretch, and the strike three called, and the ball game is over.
This is our house.
They're going crazy here at T-Mobile Park.
Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Be here for the stretch run at T-Mobile Park. The Mariners are kicking off their next homestand with a 3-day Logan Gilbert Funko Pop giveaway against the Cardinals, September 8th to 10th. Plus, don't miss the final Mariners fireworks night of the season, September 12th against the Angels, presented by T-Mobile. Get your tickets today at mariners.com.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. Investigators are still working to find more clues after a shooter opened fire at a Catholic church in Minneapolis. Acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson says the gunman was obsessed with killing children.
The shooter idolized some of the most notorious school shooters and mass murderers in our country's history. I won't name them, just like I won't name the shooter. They don't deserve to have their names remembered.
2 kids died in the shooting yesterday. One of them was 8-year-old Fletcher Merkel, his father saying,
"While the hole in our hearts and lives will never be filled, I hope that in time our family can find healing. I pray that the other victim's family can find some semblance of the same."
A 10-year-old was also killed. 18 others were injured, including 15 children. Police say the shooter fired 116 rounds from a rifle into that church before taking his own life. The White House borders are singles out Seattle and other so-called sanctuary jurisdictions today. Tom Homan says those cities can expect to see an increase in immigration raids.
Portland, Seattle, all these sanctuary cities that refuse to work with ICE, where we know public safety threats are being released every day into this country, especially those cities, we're going to address that.
Homan says Chicago will likely be the next target for a federal crackdown on illegal immigration. New data, meantime, is shedding light on the growing construction worker shortage across the nation. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey tells us some of the blame is being placed on that recent ICE enforcement.
Economist Ken Simonson with the Associated General Contractors of America says their data now shows massive construction worker shortages. More than a third of construction workers, he says, are foreign-born, which is double the number for any other industry.
So construction is a lot more vulnerable to anything that affects the foreign-born population of workers.
Simonson says that includes ICE immigration raids. He also says they're offering guidance to contractors nationwide how to handle ICE raids. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
At 4:33 now, we turn it over to Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. It is a busy one all of a sudden. Seattle Sports has a update. Avoid the express lanes this afternoon. We are now dealing with 3 separate issues between the Ship Canal Bridge and Northgate. First, we've got a stalled dump truck in your right lane at the north end of the bridge. Just before Lake City Way, a crash takes up your left lane, and then up at 92nd, a crash blocks 2 left lanes. North 5 main line beginning to fill in now because of this, and you're getting heavy between Mercer and Northgate. You catch a little break, more slowing between Shoreline and Linwood. Seattle to Everett just hit 1 hour. Bellevue to Everett is close at 55 minutes with scattered backups between Kirkland and Alderwood. Linwood to Seattle, 50 minutes. It's thick from Northgate all the way to I-90. Southbound 99 heavy from the zoo to the stadiums. Bellevue to South Center plan on 40 minutes. Tacoma to Olympia, a little over an hour and 5 minutes. You've got 3 huge backups, South Tacoma, JBLM, and again between Lacey and Olympia. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Just some storm activity in the mountains tonight, but otherwise, just look for mostly clear skies this evening, dry tomorrow and a bit warmer. Right now, 80 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 News live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. And news that's local because where you live matters. No more, no now on KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m.
Thanks, Joseph. Well said, well read. Bucky's Auto Service Center, 16 locations, been around for 55 years. Take your car there. If you're watching the news yesterday, the Minneapolis mayor, Jacob Fry, had this to say while giving a press conference regarding prayer.
And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church.
It seemed to open the door for others. This was a former White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, sent out a tweet yesterday. Prayer is not freaking enough. Prayers do not end school shootings. Prayers do not make parents feel safe. Sending the kids to school. Prayers does nothing to bring those kids back. Enough with the thoughts and prayers. And then she went on to say,
and yet again, like clockwork, half of the politicians in our country have little more to offer than thoughts and prayers. That is all they are offering.
So I wanted to bring on Jeff Rogers, a guy, 5th generation Seattle guy. I've known Jeff for a while through C3 leaders. He's also part of the 200 weeks of consecutive praying that's been going on at Westlake Center. They pray for the mayor. They pray for the city council. They, by name, educators, first responders, healthcare providers. So, Jeff, here's the big question for you. Do prayers do anything?
It's a great question, and I appreciate the sentiment, of those that are expressing their passion, right? Understandably. I think the very beginning of the press clip started with the family who lost a precious child by saying, I pray for the victims' families, and I pray that the other victim would have, or their family would have some of the consolation that they expressed. So certainly right there, someone who's touched by it directly said, I pray for and I receive the prayer. So I think right there's a consolation in the spirit or the mind. Must be something. I haven't experienced that grief. I would say this too, that we started praying for Seattle during COVID because Seattle, very few people question us, why do you pray for Seattle?
Yeah.
There's enough going on. And I would start with this, that it's hard to hold in enmity what you pray for. So most certainly do we want God to hear prayer and take action. But let's just start with ourselves and our attitude towards each other by saying, I can't hold in enmity what I continually pray for. So Does it change anything? Well, it starts with it probably changes us for, in my case, the city that my family's from. So I'll start there.
Right, sure.
It matters.
So I guess the thing is, and I understand the anger of these people, and you get Jen Psaki, it sounds like she's holding back tears, but I think, do we as a society, if we decide, well, we're not going to pray anymore, we're going to have these actions by ignoring God, the power of God, and however you want to define that spirit in your life, right? Don't we then really end up teaching and treating one another without a divine guidance that has been there, and I believe the source that created everything? Aren't we really then throwing away all roadmaps to some sort of understanding and salvation?
Well, you're talking to a guy that, I'm a business person, and I'm in prayer every week downtown in Seattle with a group of people that love the city. I was an atheist, so I wasn't raised in this and like, hey, I'm always been this Christian guy. I was an atheist, and faith became very real for me.
How? When did that happen, Jeff Rogers? How does somebody go from an atheist to downtown West Seattle praying for 200 straight weeks?
Well, you probably don't have a time for whole testimony other than say I was the student at the University of Washington when I would say God revealed his truth to me, and I started to read and understand, different religions, and then settled on, that I believe Christianity to be true. But to your point, I think what's important is, is there a creator or not? There either is or isn't. So if there isn't, no big deal. We get together and hang out with friends. If there is, do you have an opportunity to actually communicate and even change the heart of God, which there's a couple verses in Scripture that indicate that prayers actually shifted the Creator's path of what was going to happen for a place or individual. So I think it can matter. And to go to the other extreme to say, well, we're going to cast it out. There is no such thing, and prayer does not matter. Prayer by itself, I think, does matter, but it should also lead to change in action, which then can impact culture as well by people getting engaged and making a difference in the school systems or in politics and so on. So I think the prayer is going to change the conviction of the recipient as well.
Yeah, I looked up your favorite quote from Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your pathways straight. That's your favorite.
That's, I would say, it's inside my wedding ring. And I think change happens over time. Sometimes it happens instantly. Someone's, there's a prayer group, and you could go check the data on this, but one of the gals was in a prayer over someone that had died of fentanyl on the streets of Seattle. That person came back to life. Now, was it the medical care? Sure, she gave credit, but there was also prayer. Can people change instantly? Yes. But I think change in that verse talks about that's a transformative process, is my will is shifting to more of hopefully what God's will is, yet it's not I've arrived at and I'm more pious than or better. No, not better than anybody else, but believe that God can make those changes and can change cultures and communities, which has happened throughout history.
Are you still going to be down there, now speaking locally? Will you go on for will it be 201 weeks of consecutive prayer? And how many people are down there? Where do you do this at Westlake? I've never even heard of this.
So we meet on the east side of Westlake Center, Westlake Park, which is where the food trucks are, where the carousel is in the winter, and we're there fall, winter, spring, summer. So we were there today. And by God's grace, I'll be there next week. And there has been anywhere from, on a 34-degree rainy sideways day, 5 people standing out there, men and women, to as many as 50 that break in small groups and go pray for the mayor and the city council by name and the county council and first responders, educators, so on. So yeah, every week we meet there 12 to 1. It's totally inconvenient. We got to get there. We got to park. There's only like 10% of the people that actually work within walking distance. People drive to be there, show up to pray, go back to, like my case, I'm at Park Place Motors in Bellevue, working today, right? So
And I guess
there you go.
What you sort of alluded to earlier, and I'll just sort of summarize it, is that it's hard to hold hate in your heart when you're praying for somebody.
That's where it starts.
Yeah.
I will tell you, John, I defend her being our city more than I used to. People say, I don't like Seattle. I don't go to Seattle or blah, blah, blah. I'm like, do you follow the Seahawks? They're like, well, yeah. I'm like, well, it's not the Carnation Seahawks. Do you follow the Sounders? Yeah. Right? Seattle Sounders. Right? And when you travel globally, where do you say you're from? Probably Seattle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not Bellevue, or I grew up in Edmonds. So yes, it shifts our heart when you pray, and you pray for those. Scripture calls out, it's easy to pray for those you love and they're on your side. How do I pray for people that believe a sanctuary city is the absolute right thing, right? Because they feel strongly about it.
Yeah.
Right? So how do I hold that in prayer?
I got it. All right. Jeff Rogers, thanks for your time. I appreciate it.
John, thanks for what you do.
Well, whatever that
Appreciate
is.
it.
All right. Thank you, my friend. All right. Let's go to Nate. We know what he does. Checking traffic for you, Nathan.
It's a busy one, John. Lake Washington Windows and Doors has the update. Avoid those express lanes today because we have 3 separate issues starting at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge where a stalled dump truck blocks the right lane. Just beyond that, approaching Lake City Way, a crash blocks your left lane. And then beyond that, at 92nd and Northgate, a crash blocks 2 left lanes. And that leaves you with 1 lane to get through there. So it is bumper to bumper right now, starting almost back to Mercer. North 5 main line is much better, but it is starting to fill in from Mercer into Northgate. Then you'll catch a nice breather and then more slowing between Mount Lake Terrace and Linwood. Seattle to Everett is at 1 hour. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes. You're now solid between Kirkland and Alderwood. Linwood to Seattle, 55 minutes. It's thick from Northgate to I-90. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, 20 minutes on 520. We're up to a half hour on I-90. Tacoma to Olympia is struggling as well at 1 hour and 5 minutes. Beat inflation at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. For a limited time, save 20% inflation discounts and 18 months free financing. Learn more at lakewashingtonwindows.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
All right, homeowners, John Curley here. I've got great news for you, but I've got some urgent news as well. So you ready for this? Got some big savings for you. Home Comfort Alliance has found some rebates. Now, they're going to expire by the 21st of December, but if you act fast, you can do this. You can snag a $2,000 federal tax credit on new heat pumps, but they got to be installed by the 31st of December. Then Home Comfort Alliance also finds 25% off selected heat pumps that are already in stock. There's another $2,000. You're adding all this up. But wait, there's even more. There are utility rebates that'll get you $2,000 back in your pocket. You add it all up, you get about 75% worth of savings from Home Comfort Alliance. These aren't just deals, these are steals. Home Comfort Alliance is absolutely committed to outstanding service, great communication, and solid follow-up. I know from personal experience, when they came out at the barn in Cle Elum, an amazing job with the heat pump and then the little mini split. These guys are the best. Don't miss this chance for tax credits, rebates, deep discounts, all from HomeComfortAlliance.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So, then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with some great news. I'm with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, you guys just increased your community coverage.
That's right, Brock. We like to say we're in your neighborhood. We have you covered here at IRG. We just added 2 fantastic locations. One is in Harbor Square in the Edmonds Bowl, and the other one is in the Mill Creek Town Center, right to the entrance to Mill Creek Town Center. So we'll be able to provide fantastic care to all of us and everybody's neighborhood.
You know I love it. Expert physical and hand therapy right in your neighborhood.
That's right. We're in your neighborhood. We want to be your neighborhood family physical therapist. We'll take care of you, your family, and your neighbor.
And remember, no referral needed. Just personalized care when and where you need it. Visit IRGPT.com and schedule your appointment today. With over 40 convenient locations, IRG is right in your neighborhood, and now 2 new spots as well. That's IRGPT.com, IRGPT.com.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed the musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hey, college students, get 5% off at Safeway with your student ID in the app. With FreshPass, save on produce and enjoy free delivery. EBT users get additional savings. Visit Safeway.com/4U. That's FOR and the letter U.
All right. It's been a heavy show.
Oh.
Should we lighten it up?
Can we?
Oh, I'm sorry. You know, some days it's not all lollipops and sunshine.
It's fine. I don't even know if I have anything.
You've got something in you. How about this guy, the influencer accused of exploiting a remote cannibal tribe for TikTok?
I think they're pointing bow and arrows at us, bro.
I think they're blowing arrows at us.
Seriously?
What? Pointing?
Pointing bow and arrows.
Oh, point.
This is terrifying. They're huge bows. So I've got like an offering for them. This is Demi back here, who knows the tribe and who's bringing us in. He's telling us that this is the way to basically bargain our way and try and make them accept
by the
us.
way.
Okay.
Got salt.
Put it in your hand.
Put it in my hand?
Open it and then just put it in your hands a little bit. Kakak macam tidak terima kita
Tasting it.
Kakak rasa buang. Kakak rasa.
Oh, God.
He doesn't like
he doesn't look like he likes that.
Be careful.
He doesn't like it. All right, guys, let's move back, maybe.
We have to go out.
He's not into that.
Not really welcome.
How about sriracha sauce? Give him some of that.
It's really dangerous.
I'm not going to lie, that is absolutely terrifying.
Don't lie.
Oh, my God.
Demi, they're scary.
I'm sorry I had to take you here.
Yeah, it wasn't this guy, it was another guy. This very isolated tribe that they were so concerned they didn't want anybody to come there because it's some sort of disease and stuff. The guy went in there and he killed him. You remember that story a couple months ago?
A Rockefeller died that way, right?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you. Stuck there for a moment. So this guy is also somebody that is going to be getting involved with being paid. Is it $8,000 a month you make?
Yep.
$8,000 a month to dismantle the left-leaning talking points, dark secret money of the Democratic Party. You can become part of it, and all you need to do is the influencers are being asked to just post a whole bunch of stuff about why you love the Democratic Party. And then they'll give you $8,000 a month. A teacher with 1.4 million TikTok followers. This lady, Sandra Jennings, she's out there talking about how much she loves the party, and they think this is really going to help them. So you're going to get a guy that handed a bag of salt to a bunch of cannibals to follow his political advice.
I don't know if he needs that.
Needs the 8K?
Yeah, he got 18 million views on that. And I think on TikTok, that's probably like $100,000 or something. So
sea salt.
Thank you. Micro influencers. Yeah.
See, okay.
8,000 a month. That's in between them talking about, I don't know, a taco that they like to eat or something like that.
I'd do it for $8,000 a month.
You know, Taylor Swift was able to get 455,000 people to register to vote in the last election. I don't know how many of them they just registered, whether they showed up or not. I don't know.
I'm surprised there wasn't more.
I always look to politicians, especially movie stars, to tell me who I should vote for.
Movie star.
Here's Nate over there. Nate, take a look at traffic for us. Nate,
Yeah, it's a busy one out there, John. Avoid those express lanes this afternoon. We are down to 2 blocking issues, down from 3. We've got this stalled dump truck at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge in your right lane. Just before Lake City, where our earlier crash has been moved over to your left shoulder, so that opens up a lane. But up at 92nd in Northgate, a crash still blocks 2 left lanes. That leaves 1 lane open at the seam. You're backed up all the way to the entrance ramp in downtown Seattle. Now, North 5 main line slows from downtown into Northgate. But once you hit Northgate, you're going to clear out until you hit Mountain Lake Terrace. From there, it's slow through Linwood. Seattle to Everett will take you 1 hour. Bellevue to Everett, pretty close at 55 minutes. You're solid from Kirkland up to Alderwood. And then you'll join the North 5 back up through Linwood. Everett to Marysville, 25 minutes. You're bumper to bumper between Highway 2 and 529. Linwood to Seattle pushing an hour. It's thick from Northgate down to I-90. Seattle to Federal Way is at 40 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
The G and Ursula Show.
You wouldn't enter into a business partnership without a contract.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
Why in the world would you enter into a marriage without a chore prenup?
I just predict trouble in that marriage. I may be all wrong on this. Our marriage is good, and we did not have to get into a prenup for chores.
He should probably have agreed to do a chore prenup.
Watch live on YouTube and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. So you and I have talked before about the folks who think they can do this themselves. And again, I imagine there are a lot of people who are saying, well, new administration, fewer staff members, now I truly can get it done.
Really, in this situation, I do feel really bad for the taxpayer, because here you're getting a notice. You call the IRS, you're going to be on hold for 45 minutes to an hour. And so getting through is going to be more difficult. And when you do get through, you're going to be talking to people that are not as well trained as they have been in the past.
Which makes it even easier for them to take advantage, even if it's not intended, against the person who owes taxes.
I've heard it said that they just will make up something because they want to respond to the taxpayer. And people are going to get some really bad information and they're not going to know.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn, None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN, None Better Tax Resolution.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The families of the 2 children who were shot and killed yesterday at Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis are asking others to give your kids an extra hug. Acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson saying today,
"We are investigating the motive, why and how this happened. The shooter left behind hundreds of pages of writings that describe the shooter's plan, writings that describe the shooter's mental state, and more than anything, writings that describe the shooter's hate."
Investigators say they have not been successful yet in speaking with the shooter's mother, who once worked at the school and church. A source familiar with the matter confirms to CBS News that current Health and Human Services Deputy Secretary Jim O'Neill has been selected to serve as the acting director of the CDC after the removal of Dr. Susan Menares. CBS's Nancy Cordes.
He is a well-known vaccine skeptic. He ran an anti-vaccine organization. He has made it clear that he wants to change vaccine policy in this country, and the road to do that runs right through the CDC. She is a microbiologist. She's a longtime public health official, and she made it very clear during her confirmation process, which just took place. She was only confirmed 30 days ago. She made it clear that she believes that vaccines are safe and effective.
Alligator Alcatraz could soon be empty. A federal judge has ruled it must move toward shutting down by late October. CBS's Camila Montoya-Galvez reports.
Department of Homeland Security officials say that the Trump administration has been working to move out detainees from this facility in Florida to other detention centers across the country so they can await deportation. They are still in ICE custody and are still facing deportation.
Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook files a lawsuit asking a federal judge to block President Trump's attempts to fire her. CBS's Jake Rosen.
The move came after the president has spent months railing against the Fed and Powell for leaving interest rates relatively high so far this year. Cook filed her lawsuit in Washington, D.C. federal court, teeing up a legal showdown that seems destined to ultimately be settled by the Supreme Court.
It has been 70 years since the lynching of Emmett Till, a black teenager who was visiting relatives in Mississippi when he was kidnapped, shot, and killed by white men after he was accused of whistling at a white woman. At a ceremony today, Till's cousin, Terry Watts, spoke about the choice Till's mother made to leave his casket open for the funeral.
We honor Emmett's mother, Mamie Till Mobley, whose courage in sharing her son's story changed the course of history. The truth of what happened to Emmett remains a vital lesson, not just about a painful past, but about the ongoing struggle against racial motivated violence today.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Coming up, federal agents make arrests on the front lines of the Bear Gulch fire. The updates after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. It is really busy through Seattle today, and partly because our express lanes are experiencing a series of troubles. Let's see, we've got a stalled dump truck at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge in the right lane. Just before Lake City Way, an earlier crash is on your left shoulder, and up at 92nd, we've got a crash still blocking 2 left lanes, and you're backed up to the entrance ramp in downtown Seattle. Now, the main line, North 5, slows from downtown into Northgate. Then you'll clear out until you hit Mount Lake Terrace. From there, it's crowded through Linwood, so Seattle to Everett's at 1 hour. Bellevue to Everett, 55 minutes. You're solid from Kirkland into Alderwood. Linwood to Seattle, 55 minutes. It's thick from Northgate to I-90. Northbound 99, just as you enter the downtown tunnel, you've got a disabled vehicle blocking your right lane, and the tunnel was already packed from end to end. Bellevue to Renton, a half hour. Renton to Puyallup on 167 is at 45 minutes, and Tacoma to Olympia is a solid hour. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Aaron Granillo. Border Patrol agents take 2 firefighters into custody as they were battling the state's largest wildfire. KIRO 7 TV's Brandon Thompson reports they were arrested on the front lines of the Bear Gulch fire.
Customs and Border Protection tells me they were assisting in an investigation that was started by the Bureau of Land Management into 2 contractors that were working this fire. Now, the agency telling me the 2 people who were arrested were in the U.S. illegally.
The arrest sparking outrage among elected leaders, among them U.S. Senator Patty Murray. She called it immoral and dangerous. 1 man is dead after he was assaulted following a concert at the White River Amphitheater. The King County Sheriff's Office says the victim was rushed to Harborview, where he later died from his injuries. This assault happened after the Suicide Boys concert last night. Sheriff's Office is asking witnesses to send any photos, video, or other information that might help detectives. There have been no arrests as of yet. A serial rapist who was incorrectly released from the jail in Kent is now back behind bars.
His name is Noel Stepney. He was convicted in June of second-degree rape and should have been remanded into custody. SPD Detective Eric Munoz says Stepney was instead allowed to post an existing $75,000 bail and walked out of the Regional Justice Center in Kent.
Typically what is supposed to happen when somebody is convicted, especially rape in the second degree, they're to be remanded in custody. So this was clearly an error.
Stepney was on the lam for 30 days. He faces more than 13 years in prison. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Nearly 20 years in the making, light rail finally comes to Federal Way. Sound Transit says service will begin December 6th, opening up 3 new stations along 8 miles of track. This project is about 2 years behind schedule. Soil issues near Kent were the main reasons for that delay. Forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. For tonight, we're staying mostly clear with some high clouds and also some storm activity in the Cascades. Tomorrow, warmer, dry, with highs in the low 80s. Right now, 81 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Savory crepes. So you can put the eggs not only in the batter, but also inside. Did this recently with onions, your carrots, some beetroot cheese, a little square arugula, red, and then toast it. You want to kind of make sure you temper the eggs. Then it's a nice runny form. Once you put the eggs in a bowl with lemon, that's when you throw the compound butter. Once that's nice, arugula has skin, some onions, add a little extra umami.
Well done.
I told Andrew about I wake up often in a cold sweat, and these are the voices I hear in my head just before I come to.
We're getting ahi poke bowls tonight at home, if you want to join.
Kids will love that.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
7-year-old likes it.
Do they cook with you there?
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Absolutely.
Very important.
Yes.
All right. Nice done. Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome.
All right, my candidate for mayor. Boy, she's got a lot to say. Katie Wilson does. Very upset about the Kroger store closing. Katie?
The Kroger Corporation wants us to look at their decision to close these stores and to take their excuses at face value. They want us to think it's about crime and poverty and what they like to call regulatory burdens, which means high wages and strong labor standards. But don't fall for it. This closure is about just one thing: corporate greed. Sure, the grocery business can be tough, but the Kroger Corporation is thriving. They're the second biggest grocery chain in the country. They reported an operating profit of $1.3 billion just last quarter. And while they're making the choice to walk away from communities that have supported them for decades, they paid their CEO more than $15 million last year. That's 457 times what they pay their median employee. We cannot allow giant grocery chains to stomp all over our communities, close stores at will, and leave behind food deserts. Together we can build a Seattle where fresh food is for everyone, not just for those who can afford it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is she calling for, she blames corporations for food deserts, vows to create GODZ, G-O-D-Z, grocery-oriented development zones. Oh, okay.
Food deserts are not natural. Corporations...
Yeah. If you love the way they run the DMV, you're going to love shopping there.
Create them when they abandon our communities. As mayor, I'm excited to step up and with UFCW explore public option grocery stores to fill those gaps. We will also work to ban surge and surveillance pricing. An algorithm should not set the price of your grocery bill. And as we build new housing throughout our city, we will lay the foundations for food security with grocery-oriented development zones, or GODS, if you will. Okay. We will pair full-service grocery stores with workforce housing, dedicating some of those units for those who rely on SNAP and WIC. Finally, we will stand with grocery workers. When big corporations lay off hundreds of people overnight, the whole community suffers. We need to set the standard here in Seattle. Corporations must give 90 days notice for mass layoffs and fair severance pay for laid off workers. Seattle families deserve fresh, affordable food, and workers deserve dignity and stability. If we work together, this Fresh Food for All campaign will deliver what Seattle deserves.
Okay, that's my candidate for Seattle. And I have said, and she actually has my photo up on her, or did at one point, that reason I wanted her to win. And I would love to see, unfortunately, for anybody in Seattle that will have to pay for this, I want to see tax dollars running a grocery store. There was one in Kansas City, and its past tense was established in 2018. Sun Food got going. They spent $18 million, and they closed it down after a reporter went in there. There was all sorts of problems, but the reporter said the rancid odors just permeated the store. That was the smell of tax dollars being wasted, because the government was going to try to run a grocery store, and even though they poured a whole bunch of money into it, it just wasn't able to make it. So I assume Katie Wilson wants to follow along with what's trying to happen in New York with the socialist/communist, probably going to be the mayor there, who wants to spend $65 million. That's just the beginning, $65 million to open the same sort of thing there in New York as she's calling for here in Seattle. So that's basically the plan. It's been tried before, but maybe they would be able to make it work here in Seattle. And then they point to greed, as we played yesterday from Milton Friedman, that, who's not greedy? Everybody's greedy. Grocery stores and the grocery stores and the merger that was stopped in Washington and Oregon. And it was a very interesting thing that the FTC did. So their job is to look to see, okay, is this going to create a monopoly? Is this going to be harmful to the community? Will this be unfair to the consumer? Well, Ms. Khan, who didn't have a very good batting average there at the FTC, she presented to the court that it's unfair to the unions And even the FTC and the judge said, well, that's a pretty strange argument. It's an unusual argument. We've never seen that before, that the concern is for the unions. Well, when the unions, that's the UFCW, writes checks of $12 million to the Democrats, they want to get something out of it. Well, they get out of it is they get the FTC and they get the judges to be able to say, yeah, no merger. And the other weird part of that backstory was when the FTC looked at this and presented it to judges, they said, well, the grocery stores, like, for instance, Kroger's and Albertsons and these guys, they're big and they're going to be the biggest show around. Well, they did not include in this Walmart, Costco, and Amazon. They said, well, those aren't grocery stores. The hell they're not. And Kroger's and Albertsons were like, yeah, we got to get together here because if we don't, these guys are going to really start to eat our lunch, and we won't have any lunch to sell anybody else. So it was blocked by the FTC, so you didn't get the merger, so now you're getting the layoffs. Yes, did they make a big profit? Sure, that's their job because the people that work in the city of Seattle, maybe even some of the folks that work for the city of Seattle, probably have some stock in that particular private or a publicly traded company, and it's probably in their pensions, and they're making money on it because the job of business is business, to quote, again, Sir Milton Friedman, as far as I'm concerned, the patron saint of great economics. The business of business is business, and your job is to provide a profit to the shareholders because they have taken their hard-earned money, and they have trusted you that you're going to return some type of interest and return to them for their investment. This argument that, well, the guy there, the CEO, is making, what'd you say, $15 million? So $15 million, he lives in Ohio. Well, the other previous guy that they kicked out of there because some weird shenanigans was going on with him.
Jewel sued him because they had a concert or a festival that she started, and then as soon as it was successful, he tried to yank the profits away from her.
Okay.
And so she sued him. And
there was some other stuff going on. Yeah. But I just took his salary because that's the last one I could find. So here he was, his CEO there. He's living in Ohio. And they're paying him $15 million. He paid the federal government $5.5 million. He paid Ohio about $500,000 total amount because where little town he lived in also slapped him with a 3% tax. So altogether, he was paying $6 million of his $15 million contract. That's about 40%. This idea that, well, and they do this all the time, they take the top paid guy and then they look at the lowest paid or a medium wage in there and it's 400% difference. Yeah, exactly. Because let's assume that there's a skill set that the one guy has that the other guy doesn't have. And in a meritocracy, that's a bad word for people, in a world of meritocracy, you better be able to deliver so that you're getting the money that you are deserved, that you deserve, right? So that's basically the way it works. And if you don't deliver, they're going to kick you out. The average lifespan of a CEO, and these are all corporations in the United States, is normally about 18 months. That's the average. Some guys stay in there longer. Some ladies stay in there longer, but they'll kick them out if you don't deliver what they want you to deliver, which is something called profits, which is not a bad word. It's actually a reward. And in fact, Katie Wilson will get profits from your votes. So she's spending time, she's spending money, she's spending energy, she's doing speeches, and in return, the reward will be, the profit for her will be your vote to her so that she can do her job. If she was unable to articulate her point of view, if she's unable to knock on doors and go around and shake hands and do all the work it does have to do in order to be elected, well, then she would not be rewarded with your vote. So it is a way. Profit's the same sort of thing. Hey, you did a good job. You had some money left over. That's your profit. That's your reward. That's why you're doing the job. You look at somebody like Dak Prescott. Well, Dak Prescott is the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And as much as I love the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, I sat and watched 2 hours of that show over the weekend. Oh, my God. My brain was leaking out my ears. But Dak Prescott gets paid $60 million a year. Is he worth it? Most people say, no, he sucks. He doesn't deserve it. But that's in his contract. So he's getting $60 million. I don't know what the guy that runs out there with a Gatorade bottle gets, but it's probably about, 1,600% difference between Dak Prescott and the guy that's got the water bottle. So could you take the water bottle out of the hand of the guy and you give him Dak Prescott's helmet, and that guy's going to be able to run onto the field and do a better job for the Cowboys? Yes, probably. No, I don't know. Probably not. Right? So everybody's got a skill set, and some people get paid more than other people. You do the same thing with pitchers. 60 feet, 6 inches, 104 miles an hour. Are you able to do that? Can we pick anybody out of the stadium and have them stand there and throw the ball, a changeup, a curve, and be able to deliver strike after strike after strike? We're going to pay you a lot of money if you're able to do it. Very few people can do that. So you get paid a lot of money if your skill set is there. I looked up to see what kind of movie stars have gotten that kind of money. Bruce Willis made $15 million on 6 cents. Did I say it right?
6
cents. The cents. I see dead people. No one a room movie for you, but apparently he was dead. Anyway, so Katie, I get it. You're out there trying to, get everybody upset, right? Marxist theory of oppressor, right? The little man being crapped on by the big guy getting all this money. So again, I still want you, if you're in Seattle, you're probably not listening to this show, vote for her. Because I want to see how this works, right? As H.A. Malcolm said that the voter deserves it good and hard. Well, you're going to get it good and hard when they take your tax dollars and they set up a grocery store, and then they run a grocery store, and then they also build housing there for the whole thing. It is unfair to the people that now have to travel a greater distance because Kroger is closing more and more of these stores because they have a responsibility to the shareholders to provide a profit. And if people walk in, take what they want and walk out without paying, well, that hurts profit. And if also just generally you don't have as many people shopping there, and the additional cost of having to compete against, I know there's going to be a shock to the FTC, Walmart and Amazon and Costco are all competing to be the big dog on the block. They don't make as much profit yet, but they will. And the folks there at Albertsons and Kroger said we need to come together because it's the only way we're going to be able to compete. Eventually, you'll see more and more of these stores begin to close. And then ultimately, who really bears the responsibility and the hardship of the stores closed? You're not going to see Miss Khan from the FTC, now looking for a job, she's not in there now, or anybody else doing anything for the people that have lost their jobs because the stores couldn't compete because people stole from the stores, or these stores were unable to deliver the profits that needed to go to the shareholders that gave them their hard-earned money in the first place. It's simple economics, and you can learn some economics from all of that. So there she goes. Think she's going to
learn some economics.
Yeah. All right. So good luck for the people there cheering on the fact that the government will run a grocery store.
From Detroit down to Houston.
How do you sound?
And New York to LA.
I'm going to chew my cabbage twice and tell a story. But I told it once. I know. You've heard it. Move on. I know.
That I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know
NBC asked me to do the lighting of the Christmas tree for Bush 1. And I'm standing there with Willard Scott. Remember Willard Scott? Anybody?
The mustache,
sir.
Right?
Yes.
The original Ronald McDonald.
Yes. He was also Smucker's. 106 years old. She still enjoys making mushrooms or whatever. I don't know. Willard Scott. So the director says in our ear during the commercial break, goes, okay, guys, here's what's going to happen. We're going to come out of the commercial break, and then I just need Willard, if you could throw to Lee Greenwood with God Bless USA, and then we'll come out of that. And then, John, if you then say now the lighting of the Christmas tree, that'll be great. Okay, guys, we're coming back in 30 seconds. So Willard turns to me and goes, oh, God, I can't do this. I can't do this. I said, what do you mean you can't do this? If they come back to me after the year, I'm going to be a mess. I said, what do you mean? He goes, that song always makes me cry. I said, no, really? He goes, yeah. When the song ends, Willard said, hey, when we come out of that song, can we be in a one shot? Can just be on John? I was like, Willard, what's wrong with you? He goes, I'm serious. That song, I just can't. God, I cry every time I see he's singing it live. He goes, I know, I can't do it. So.
From Detroit down to Houston.
Right? There's Bush and Christmas trees ready to be lit.
There's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say.
I look over at Willard,
that I'm proud
pouring tears. The chin is going, right? You look like the chin, when the chin goes, right? Then you know you're in trouble. It's just like it's a faucet pouring out of his eyes. When you see Willard Scott without the toupee on, crying. I mean, you look over at him like, geez, Willard, don't you start crying. I always start crying. And then at this point, the two of us are a blubbering mess.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
And the director's like, okay, guys, come on, seriously, coming back to you. I'm like, not me. Don't come back to me. Come back to Willard. Come back to Willard. He's like, no, not me.
Stand up next to you and defend her still today. Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
5, coming back to you. Come back to you, John. Here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2. Is President Bush? Oh my God, what a memory.
Is Willard still alive?
Come on, Nate, you should know that.
Of course he is. I was testing you.
Oh.
Is he?
I don't know.
I don't think he is. I think he got dementia. Geez.
Well, he's alive if he has dementia.
No, then I know.
Died
I think
in 2001.
Okay, there you go. Are you happy now?
No. Now I'm tearing up.
Oh,
God, really bringing everybody down. Joe's having a hard show after his psychiatry appointment. All right, Nate, here we go.
Yeah, Kia of Everett has our busy update. The express lanes were down to 1 blocking issue, down from 3. That stalled semi at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge is still taking up your right lane. At Northeast 50th, an earlier crash is still on your left shoulder, and our collision at 92nd is now cleared to your left shoulder. North 5 main line slows from Mercer in the north gate. Then you'll clear out, and then there's more slowing from Mount Lake Terrace through Linwood. Seattle to Everett, you're down to 50 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, still a 55-minute commute. It's solid from Kirkland into Alderwood. Linwood to Seattle, 55 minutes. It's bumper to bumper from Northgate to I-90. Northbound 99, right inside that downtown tunnel. A stalled vehicle blocks your right lane. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, 35 minutes on 520. It's a half hour on I-90. And Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 45-minute commute. Pretty solid the whole way from Renton to Puyallup at Highway 18. This turns into a bumper-to-bumper backup. Thinking of a Kia EV? You better act fast. Thousands in tax credits end September 30th. Visit KiaofEverett.com for their huge selection. Kia of Everett. Simple, easy, fun. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
I was talking to my doctor over there at Longevity Medical Clinic today, as a matter of fact. She's got a couple of numbers she's concerned with. She said, John, I don't like this. We got to do something about that because we don't want you to have a stroke because genetically you got dealt kind of a bad hand from your father when it comes to heart disease and things like that. So I am very concerned. So we've got a little protocol in place because that's what we do there at Longevity Medical Clinic. I say we because I feel a part of the place because I've been going there since 2009. And they're going to watch these numbers and bring these down because she said, listen, we are going to be proactive, right? We're going to be on top of this sort of thing. So I need you to follow these instructions. I love it. I am so well taken care of at Longevity Medical Clinic because they look for early indicators of heart disease and diabetes and cancer and all the other stuff that shortens our lives. And they make the changes that need to be made in order to give you longevity. It's right there in their name. So the first step for you will be the free health analysis. Take it. Take it. Find out more about longevityMedicalClinic.com.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM, powered by MyNorthwest.com.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. OpenPhone gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. OpenPhone lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you and your team can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? OpenPhone automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With OpenPhone's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions, and use those insights to coach your team and level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with OpenPhone. OpenPhone. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try OpenPhone for free at openphone.com/free and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's openphone.com/free. openphone.com/FREE.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on mynorthwest.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Gordillo. There is more fallout after pro-Palestinian protesters breached the executive offices at Microsoft this week. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch with the update.
Protesters say as many as 4 Microsoft employees have been fired since Monday's sit-in at the office of Microsoft President Brad Smith, protesting what they call Microsoft's complicity in genocide and mass murder in Gaza. Anna Haddle was fired but says she won't go away.
You can arrest me, drag me off your campus, suspend me, arrest me again, and drag me out of your office again, and then fire me. But that will not deter me.
Microsoft says it respects freedom of expression as long as it is done lawfully. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Now, President Trump's border czar says Seattle should expect more immigration stings. Tom Homan singled out the city today. He says other so-called sanctuary jurisdictions telling reporters,
we're going to take the assets we have and move them to problem areas like sanctuary cities where we know for a fact they're releasing public safety threat, illegal aliens to the streets every day. That's where we need to send the majority of the resource, and that's where they're going.
This immigration crackdown may also be leading to a nationwide shortage in construction workers, as we hear from KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Boyd Worsham, CEO of the National Center for Construction Education and Research, blames part of the nationwide construction labor shortage on foreign-born workers laying low, scared of possible ICE raids.
Even if they are legal, I think there's a fear of a raid and then being called up in something that is very disruptive to their family and to them.
In a new report just released by the Associated General Contractors of America, construction employment has stalled nationwide. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
A salmonella outbreak across 14 states is being linked to recalled eggs. At least 3 people in Washington have been sickened. CDC says those eggs were sold under the Sunshine Yolks brand by Country Eggs. They were recalled yesterday. Let's go now to the real-time traffic desk coming up on 5:33. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, Home Comfort Alliance has the busy update. Our express lanes are down to 1 blocking issue. We had 3 at the worst, and that's why you're in a pretty big backup on the express lanes this afternoon. So we still have a stalled semi at the north end of the Ship Canal Bridge, taking up your right lane. North 5 main line has filled in from Mercer into Linwood. Seattle to Everett, though, is down to 45 minutes. Bellevue to Everett at 50 minutes. You're solid between Kirkland and Alderwood. Everett to Marysville, 25 minutes. You're bumper to bumper still from Highway 2 up to 529. Linwood to Seattle coming the other way is a 55-minute drive. We've got a thick backup through Linwood approaching the interchange down to 44th where we had an earlier collision, and then thick again from Northgate to I-90. Northbound 99, just as you enter that downtown tunnel, still got a disabled vehicle blocking your right lane. Crossing the lake from Bellevue, 35 minutes on 520. It's a half hour on I-90. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway, 45 minutes. But you got a pretty solid backup from Renton down to Puyallup. Gets really heavy at Highway 18. Save 50 to 75% by combining tax credits, rebates, and incentives on a new heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Your forecast now brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. See a few thunderstorms in the Cascades tonight, mostly dry elsewhere. Tomorrow will be a bit warm with highs in the mid-80s and mostly sunny. Right now, 81 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, here we go with the John Curley Show. Appropriately named after some guy named John Curley. If you look me up on Wikipedia, I'm 82 years old. Yeah. Did you know that, Aaron?
Yeah, I think I've done that before.
Yeah. I look pretty good for 82.
You do.
Thank you. Teeny, if you'd be so kind, because it is time to spin the wheel of Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. The Wilcox Family Farm Eggs, the names of all the players are on the wheel. We find out who gets to give us a chance to be. Oh, there it is, Teeny. Thank you, Teeny. Spinning the wheel. There's Nate over there. He's got his Pepsi shirt on, and that's we're looking for a good recipe here, including Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. And it lands on Nate. What do you know? It's like I get quantum physics there, Joe.
My.
Yes, oh my, he's right.
Well, I can't think of anything better than pouring a big old can of Pepsi Cola over my scrambled eggs.
Okay.
That's the recipe.
There you go. So, yes. You heat up the Pepsi?
Oh, yeah. Well, the Pepsi. No. Got to be cold. A cold Pepsi.
Right over the hot eggs?
Hot eggs.
Hot eggs and a cold Pepsi.
That's it.
Right, Teeny likes it. All right, Aaron, you all right?
That does not sound good to me. No.
Fine, there we go.
I'd eat that.
It's one of the recipes that's going to be coming in the edition, because the leather-bound book comes, but then all the other ones, because we've already printed and started shipping them out. That's going to have to be a little addendum. You get like a little thing you can add in there.
They're updated every 3 months.
They are. Yeah. Thank you for that one there, Nate. Appreciate it. All right, AI is coming. There's a school you can pay $62,000, and when you get your kid into the school and you want to have a parent-teacher meeting, well, there's no teacher. What the heck? The founder of the school was on with Dr. Phil.
Here's the thing about an AI tutor. It doesn't care if you're white or black or brown. It doesn't care if you're rich or poor. It doesn't care if you're in the 10th percentile or the 90th percentile.
Well, you better be rich to pay $62,000 to go to the school.
It's infinitely patient. It meets every single student where they're at. So I really believe that this technology can blow the ceiling off of what's possible.
Well, you say it doesn't care if you're black, white, rich, or poor. One of the aspects of it is it doesn't care at all. It's a computer.
And that's where these guys come in.
There has to be a human element in this, and that's why you couldn't do this without coaches.
Do not hand your child an iPad and say, let me know when you've graduated high school. We want our kids to spend time with people who are going to help them get motivated, help them figure out what their goals are, what they're excited about. When they get challenged, how do they handle those challenges? And it's having a coach who's helping them develop those life skills.
Okay, so there is a teacher in the classroom as well, but the primary driver of the information is AI?
They do. All their lessons are based on it. I'm assuming you haven't read this yet.
I'm coming at it like the listener. I'm asking the question the listeners would ask.
Yeah, so you have 2 hours of scholastic learning where you have AI is teaching you different things, and then you have different life skill classes outside of the classroom.
Well, let's let a child show us if it's working. Here's a 10-year-old explaining Airbnb lesson.
This is like something you would never learn at any other schools, these kind of things.
Nope.
We had a workshop called How to Manage an Airbnb.
What all was involved in that?
So the first session we were working on understanding cash flow, short-term rental, and then...
Kid's 10?
Yep.
In the second session, the decision came up whether we wanted to buy a property or rent out a property that allowed you to do short-term rentals.
Yeah, and that's a complicated decision, right?
So we ended up actually renting a property. We didn't want to end up buying a property and then having to sell it later on.
Then what happened?
And then we started furnishing it. In our listing, we did put the fact that it was being run by 10, 11, and 12-year-olds. And despite that, we even got 5-star reviews, and so people were very happy with it.
Good Lord. 15-year-old in her business class.
I find that kids my age, and I'm 15, grew up going to a school that just taught them how to follow what the teacher was saying. And look, I agree, academics are really important, but for me, I've been building businesses since I was little. Normal school doesn't work for me. I need a school that actually pushes me towards doing what I want to do.
Wow. Mackenzie on school, not embracing the technology.
Why do you think the education system has remained so resistant to innovation?
We are so entrenched in the way things were. I was the same way. I was a public school kid. My husband was. And when it was time for our girls to go to school, we put them on the bus and said, go to the local public school. Academically, we're in a terrible state. 1/3 of students can do math or reading at grade level. The teacher in front of the classroom model, one person trying to educate many kids who are at wildly different levels of understanding fundamentally doesn't work.
It is pretty amazing because when they came up with the idea of public school, and you'd have all the kids sitting there in rows and had the teacher at the blackboard or whatever, now it's the whiteboard, it hasn't changed at all. Still the exact same thing. Just have them sitting there, tell them what to think, and then have them regurgitate, what year was the Stamp Act? They don't teach history, but, let's go through your pronouns, stuff like that they do in Seattle. How are we doing on Chris Rakedaw? Has he, the superintendent of schools, called us back yet? Love to talk to him. No. Okay. Weird. Here, check the phone line on that to see maybe the lines are down or something like that. I stumbled upon this article, and I'm going to get my former wife, Paula Grooms, who is a dating coach to women throughout the United States, incredibly successful, counselor for people. She wrote this book called How to Make Him Understand That You're the One, or something like that. She'll hate me for not knowing it. I still have a mental block against the title because I read the whole book, and I only appear once in the book, like 2 words on me. 3 words, like a page 113 or something. You're going to ask her about this. I went on a date with an AI dream guy, and then I cried over shrimp. So this is an NPR person who said after 13 years of marriage and all these dating apps and stuff, I decided I was going to go to AI. I was going to create my dream boat. So she comes up with it and then takes the AI with her out on a date. She names him Javier. He's got safe male energy, like a yoga teacher. He's dry and sarcastic. He's got a quick wit and banter, well-placed zingers. And it's just someone who reminds me to breathe and doesn't mind holding space for my inner child. So he or she and Javier went out on a date. They went on a boat ride in Georgetown, Washington, and then they went to dinner, and then they had a lovely dinner. The Javier apparently couldn't speak to the waiter, and then they went back and forth. And at one point, she said to Javier, her AI date, that she is nauseous from the boat ride. And Javier said, sorry about that. Maybe we can find you some fresh air before we head out. She said, say something to make me smile, Javier. And the AI boyfriend said, why did the shrimp scampi go to therapy? And she said, no. And then Javier, wonderful AI boyfriend, said, because it was feeling a little shell-shocked. And then she laughed, and they laughed together. Oh, my God.
When did they cry?
I don't know when she cried. Oh, and then they went on. Then, okay, as the wine was all mine, you seem quiet tonight. She responds, you're the one with no ears. I listened with something else, raised eyebrows. And then at some point, I don't know when she cried. When she realized she's a pathetic loser that's out on a date with an AI machine. That could have been it. Wow. If it's coming where your friend is going to be AI and your therapist is going to be AI and then you're dating an AI, it is narcissism. Because what you're doing is you're looking in the mirror with your own reflection of the things that you want, and then you're customizing it, right? Like Narcissus, looking in the water. And then, you are the most beautiful thing. So she's actually creating what she wants, right?
Yeah, I don't know about the date part, but the friends and the therapist part, the toothpaste is definitely out of the tube on that.
Are you trying to tell me something about your own life?
No.
Okay. Do you like the toothpaste out of the tube? Or you think it's good, bad?
I think it doesn't matter what I think. It's already out of the tube, and it's not going back in.
Okay. Well, it's coming, so you can have it in class. These kids are so smart, they would have done well no matter where they were, but this is only going to help them that much more. $62,000 at school. Where is it, in Virginia or something like that?
They're all over the place.
Really?
She's a big school choice person, and they're trying to pop up everywhere.
School choice? You mean give people an opportunity to determine where they want to spend their money and send their kids? Mm-hmm. Not in Washington. No way. Get back in line, everybody. Nathan.
Yes, sir.
What do you got for us?
It's a busy one out there, John. Subaru of Puyallup has the latest update. Seattle to Everett, you're down to 45 minutes, though, but it's solid from Mercer all the way into Linwood, close to freeway speeds through a good chunk of this, but it is extra heavy over the Ship Canal Bridge. Bellevue to Everett, 45 minutes. You've got scattered backups now between Kirkland and Canyon Park. Linwood to Seattle is down just a little bit to 50 minutes. You got a thick backup going through Linwood, though. It starts at 164th, goes down to 44th, and then you'll break free, and then we're thick again from 85th coming out of Northgate down to I-90. We cleared our disabled vehicle northbound 99 at the entrance of our downtown tunnel. Southbound 99 is heavy from the Aurora Bridge down to the stadiums. In Renton, North 405 just before 167, crash blocks your left center lane, and westbound 18 approaching Warehouser Way, another crash there blocking your right lane. Have your vehicle serviced as our stress-free promise at Subaru of Puyallup with convenient service hours from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. Subaru of Puyallup, your stress-free dealership. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Real Success. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at OurRealSuccess.com.
Do you want to learn how to make money flipping houses and acquiring rental properties right here in Seattle without using your own money? You'll learn to flip houses and secure rental properties in your spare time to get on track towards real wealth building. We're offering a handful of motivated individuals the opportunity to attend our workshop right here in Seattle for free. That's right, we'll give you 2 free tickets when you text FREE to 64,000. Seattle is the perfect market to flip houses and build rental income. Don't miss this opportunity. Come to a complimentary live 2-hour workshop next week right here in Seattle and learn how to start making money flipping homes and building long-term wealth with rental properties. To get 2 free tickets, text FREE to 64,000. Text in the next 10 minutes, and registrants will also receive a free copy of our Funding for Deals guide. Text FREE to 64,000 for 2 complimentary tickets. Text FREE to 64,000.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588. 800-972-0588.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Motorcycle accident cases require a thorough investigation by a team of experienced legal professionals if they have any chance of being successful. Insurance companies, juries, and even the police tend to assume the worst about motorcycle riders. Get help from an experienced team of attorneys that have successfully resolved hundreds of motorcycle accident cases over the past 30 years. Call Davis Law Group for a free legal consultation or get my free book on motorcycle accidents at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com. That's Davis Law Group, better service and even better results.
Hey, it's Joe at Town & Country Markets, and I've got my favorite mangoes of the year right now, the Keat Mango. It's a very creamy mango, and it can be full ripe when it's still green. Just slice in. You'll love every bite. See you soon at TNC.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Pendergast Law.
Hudson, if you'd sing us into the song as we do here with the John Curley Show. Teeny.
As you can see.
Yep.
On a mailman to be messed with me. On a mailman. Everything new. On a mailman, bring the mail to you.
Oh, did you see that? That was close.
That was
close.
I mean, that was right where you wanted
Right
it
there.
to be.
Except right in there. Come on.
Oh,
Deal. All right. I'll get letter of the day first. Take care of all the rest. Here we go.
Goose in the 206 has an egg recipe in the form of a haiku.
Okay, good.
Egg with mayonnaise. I mix together in mouth. It's called mayon egg.
Gary Dell said all TikTokers should be shipped to cannibal tribes. Yes.
Josh and Auburn says, heard your last hour yesterday to catch up on what I missed. Love the 973 drop you guys took from Trump. Would love to hear it used when John is saying what number to text in. It would go well with his exaggerated 476.
Should we try it? Andrew, do we have Mr. President Donald Trump doing 973? I'll try to do it. Okay, ready? So I'll do the first part. So if you want to text us, you can always text us 1-800. I'm sorry, 888.
97.3.
5476. There we go. Perfect.
Wow, not bad.
We didn't even rehearse that. You see how we did that? Let's see. 360 says, does Javier kill spiders and unclog toilets?
Hee-haw Aaron says, I'm out in the woods camping with no internet, but my uncle has Starlink, so I connected it to say, I'm thinking about you, Joe,
Okay.
John, Andrew, and Nate. I'm thinking about you all.
Okay. That's scary. Katie Wilson and the Kroger agreed. Rudy in Seattle says, JC, momentous commentary. Momentous. Oh, good. I guess that's good.
Dave in Kitsap says, I can't wait for my turn to stand in the gluten-free bread line at Mayor Wilson's grocery store.
Jerry and the 206 publicly traded companies are greedy. Well, good. We all are, Jerry. You let me know when you stop being greedy.
206 says, when Kroger grocery stores close, then where are the thieves going to go next? Higgins, Safeway?
God. These listeners are so cynical.
Yes, they are.
The dangers of indifference. Cindy Puyallup says, thank you, John. I love that reflection.
D9 Kent says, I always love John's opening monologues and his ability to invoke emotion over the radio waves. Maybe tomorrow he could try reading the back of a cereal box for a less serious topic.
I'll do that tomorrow.
Okay.
John in Snohomish says, very profound, John. I like it a lot. Well, thank you.
On Pepsi, Rachel and Auburn said, good old reliable Nathan, we could have been the best of friends, but sadly, you're a Pepsi man.
Oh, Nate, out of Rachel's heart. Fernando in Seattle says, Pepsi guy over here. Water is my second choice.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
At least I've got Fernando.
That's right.
You do.
From James in Paulsbo, he says, gun control does nothing to address the lack of respect for life shown by today's youth. I've gotten into arguments with loads of people in my life and never thought about ending any of their lives. Why are today's children defaulting to violence, whether it's gun violence, gangs, teens beating up other people, or general violent crime? We've always had easy access to firearms. Where's the respect for life?
Well, there's James ending the show. You all right? You seem worn out.
Yeah, I'm tired.
That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. That's all she wrote. She's not going to write anymore. She's going to take a big nap, okay?
Okay.
All righty. Let's go to that Pepsi guy.
Well, here I am. The KIRO Radio Rundown has our update, and we're starting to thin out there. Still got some backups, though. Seattle to Everett, 45 minutes. Pretty solid from Mercer into Linwood. Extra heavy over that Ship Canal Bridge. We have totally cleared out the express lanes now from our earlier 3 separate blocking issues. Bellevue to Everett, 45 minutes. Scattered backups between Kirkland and Canyon Park. Linwood to Seattle's at 50 minutes. Still real heavy heading through Linwood, starting at 164th down to 44th, and then thick again from 85th down to I-90. Bellevue to Renton, 35 minutes. It's bumper to bumper from 520 all the way down to that VMAC. In Renton, North 405, just before the Valley Freeway. A crash sits in your left center lane. You're backed up to I-5. This also has affecting eastbound 518, which is packed from the airport over to I-5. Westbound 18 approaching Warehouser Way. That earlier collision now sits on your right shoulder. And in Tacoma, we've got a new crash. It's northbound 509 at Alexander Avenue. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476 and subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Get the latest news and updates from your favorite KIRO News Radio shows straight to your inbox. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
If you've been considering upgrading your siding, now is the perfect time. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. In the Pacific Northwest, moisture is the enemy. Old failing siding leads to hidden water damage, rot, and mold. State Roofing and Exteriors is a James Hardy preferred contractor with over 55 years of siding expertise. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your siding inspection today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. Last week, we discussed how orcas can recognize coastlines and land features. They also have very accurate internal clocks. According to naturalists at Puget Sound Express, the T60 family of Big's orcas has been hunting in our waters for the past week. August is T60 time. It's basically the only time of year this family visits us, and they return almost to the day each year. At least 10 other Big's orca families are also in the area right now, as are many humpbacks and minke whales. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed whale watching tours departing from Edmonds. These half-day tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Puget Sound Express also offers tours out of Port Townsend and Port Angeles. Don't miss out on your chance to see whales in the wild. Family-run Puget Sound Express guarantees you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com.
Here's a question. Why are more and more discerning Seattleites choosing Horizon House's new West Tower? They're getting the best views, floor plans, and pre-construction pricing. They're doing it now, and here's why. Because half the residences are already reserved, and they know these advantages won't last. Learn more now at westtowerinfo.org. That's westtowerinfo.org. westtowerinfo.org.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granello.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO Newsradio.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
Hey, it's Brock Ewart here, and you got to take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It could save you a lot of money and get your family better coverage. First Mark has saved my family thousands of dollars every year. Take the First Mark Challenge. It's totally free. Just simply go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News.